Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's go time for the A-Main, the 25 best indoor karters in the world on display for you guys here. This is Kart Chaser's presentation of the K1 Speed World E-Karting Championships. I am Dean Helt, and our buddy Jackson Lambros is down there, and we'll go ahead and give you guys a little grid walk of our contestants here this afternoon.
Here with announcing our starting grid for the 2026 K1 Speed US E-Karting Championship in the adult division. This is the race that will decide the American drivers moving forward to battle against the world's best K1 Speed drivers in the world final. So we are starting here with our pole sitter. This is not only the Phoenix, or rather Arizona state champion, this is our defending 2025 U.S. champion. Let's have a quick word with here. Gio, you've done this before, but what are your thoughts going into this race?
I mean, I'm as excited as usual. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm glad I could set pole again, and hopefully I can go and defend my title. There's a lot of really good drivers here this year, and it's been so much fun, and I'm hoping that I can go on and represent the U.S. in the world final later today. So we'll see how that goes.
Perfect. All right, best of luck to Gio and all these racers here. Starting alongside Gio on the front row here, our back-to-back Alabama state champion from Birmingham. This is Teddy Oates right here. Hopping over to the third position. This guy is not only a fantastic, phenomenal racer from Daytona Beach, Florida, but if anybody watched a couple years ago, this is our 2024 world champion. Give it up here for Liam Mahen. I just want to have a quick word with him as well. Liam, how are you feeling going into this race? You missed it last year as far as attending overall, but you're back in it again. You have a chance to proceed to the world once more.
Yeah. I feel pretty good, just starting second inside, so I'm fine with that. Just got to put my head down, keep going. I know Gio's in front of me, so maybe we'll do something, maybe we don't. We'll see. It'll be a fun one.
All right, perfect. And then starting alongside Liam here from Columbus, Ohio, is Christopher Turner. Next up here on the grid from Irvine, California, give it up for Colin Powers. And then starting in the sixth position here, this is our California state champion. We got Steven Oriana. Next up, from Portland, Oregon, we've got Gavin Genova. And alongside him here, we got in eighth position, we have Garrett Maines, who is not only our Virginia state champion, but our defending, I walked too far. Our defending world champion. Next time I'll look where I'm going here. Let's have a quick word here with Garrett. Garrett, you're starting eighth here, but you've kind of worked your way up from the back before in these kind of things. Let's hear from you about how you're kind of looking at this race.
Yeah, I'm starting a little deeper than I'd like to be, but, I felt like I made the most of the karts that I had today, so, I don't really know what I got here, but we'll find out in the next 10 laps, and hopefully we can make up another 5 spots and find ourselves on the podium and see if we got another shot at this thing.
Yeah, perfect. All right, and then starting here in the ninth position, we've got Anthony Covino, our Georgia state champion from Atlanta. In the 10th position here, I know this driver now. From Tukwila, Washington, we got Davian Darden Anderson. In the 11th position here, our North Carolina state champion, Charles Wimbley. And then in 12th position here, we're looking at our Ohio state champion from Canton, Tyler Stevenson. Moving forward here, teammate here from Arizona, we're looking at Connor Vickers. Darius Forbes here is lining up. I'm sorry, Tyler Stevenson is lining up. Sorry. Kart 50. Sorry. Okay, I didn't get this right. All right, our Washington state champion from Tukwila, Washington, Darius Forbes. In the 15th position from Rogers, Arkansas, we've got Blaine Dumas. In 16th, from Austin, Texas, this is Jeremy Ferguson. In 17th place, we've got Marcus Patterson from Indianapolis, Indiana. And 18th position from Birmingham, Alabama. Give it up for Kyle Dunklin. All right, in the 19th position from Cinnamonson, New Jersey. Give it up for Ahmad Archer. And in 20th position, we've got Billy Delgado from Las Vegas, Nevada. In 21st position, we've got our New York State champion from West Nyack, Shadi Tadros. And in 22nd position, we have all the way from Houston, Texas, our Texas State champion, Federico Gatti. And in 23rd position here from Portland, Oregon, give it up for Bryce Brown. 24th position here, we've got ourselves a woman on the grid from Columbus, Ohio. Give it up for Jessica Buck. And breaking into the top 25 of all of the U.S. adult drivers, an accomplishment in itself. It's a triple threat here from Arizona. Give it up for Caden Greenleaf. That's our entire grid there. Again, they're going for the top 3 positions, and those will be our American competitors moving on to the World Championship. But we also got to find out who our next U.S. champion is going to be. Let's find out.
Yeah, appreciate it, Ryan. And as you said, Dino, it's a dual-purpose race here. We're trying to figure out who our champions are going to be here in 2026 to claim the national crown, but crucially, who our 3 drivers are going to be on the world stage. A lot of new faces here. Not really a whole lot of carryover from the race last year. A very, very competent grid, a very, very talented grid. We got a lot of supporters here, moms, dads, girlfriends alike on the fence. Let's go ahead and have some fun here. Let's run you through the grid. Giovanni Perez D'Amico on pole alongside Teddy Oates. Liam Mahone, your 2024 national champion, is second. Chris Turner will be alongside him in row number 2. Row 3, Colin Powers, Steven Orellana. Garrett Maines, your reigning world champion, has his work cut out for him to even make the show. He's rolling off P8 alongside Gavin Genova. Anthony Cavino, David Darden Anderson, Charles Wimby, Tyler Stevenson round out your top 10. 25 karts in this field, Dino. We learned a lot yesterday in that the chaos can start very quickly here. You got to work your way through that, try and keep it as controlled as possible, and that'll give everybody a shot to potentially fight for the front here. Very much so, but at the same time, we saw the winner of the B-Men yesterday come from 19th. So just because you're not at the front of the field, if you play your cards right, maybe get a little bit of luck, there's still a chance. Remember, these drivers are going for the top 3 positions to advance to compete against our international competitors for a world championship. Ladies and gentlemen, this is as good as it's going to get. Couple of big names we got to figure out further back as well. Billy Delgado just unlucky earlier on today. Will be rolling off at the tail end of the field. Same for Caden Greenleaf. The Arizonian looked incredibly strong as well earlier on. We got to see what he'll be able to do from the very tail of the field, but P1 in that initial session before the re-roll. And look at this, everyone trying to get heat into those Sakamotos. We know how crucial it is to be in that operating window. It took a full lap before qualifying for them to really be at optimal temp. This is where the stress really comes into play here as we take it to the trams. I was going to say, these drivers, some of them have been waiting a whole year for this opportunity, maybe to get revenge for the wrongdoings of last season. Looks like we're all formed up and ready to go. I'm super excited. I hope that everybody can make it through at least the first lap, get the full 10 laps in, and then we get to see who wants it bad enough to fight for a world title. 2019, Peyton Phillips of Texas, your first adult USA champion. He went back-to-back. Jack's doing it again. The following year, Liam Mahone, the 4th from Florida. He is in this field again, just on the outside of row number 2. But you look a little bit further back. Again, Giovanni Perez D'Amico puts Arizona on the national stage for the first time last year in the prime position to potentially be the first one since Phillips to go back-to-back. Yeah, and I think a little bit of a communication happening here between P1 and P3. Maybe a little bit of a, hey, you know, let's work together, think big picture, make sure that we both find ourselves in the big show coming up here later on today. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Team Arizona. They've really gone all out. The team jerseys, we got about 30 people as far as I know. Team Arizona, I wish you all the best of luck. I'm pulling for the Las Vegas drivers, but we'll see who comes out on top here in 10 laps.
This journey started just about this time last year with the Challenge GP seasons getting underway. Champions were crowned, podiums were filled, trophies were handed out, and crucially, tickets were punched right here to K1 Circuit in Winchester. And this is the reward, an opportunity to battle against the best in the nation and a chance to compete at the global stage. Giovanni Perez D'Amico on the inside, Teddy Oates on the outside. Who are we sending to the global stage? Let's find out. Let's go racing in the U.S. Adults World Final. Already 3 wide, a little bit further back. They're clear. 1 going around further back. The 24, Liam Mahone, the Floridian, backing it to the inside of Rocky Moran.
2 drivers off at the exit of Rocky Moran, but it looks like for the most part, everybody except, unfortunately, the 24 kart is going to get through this. Garrett Maines wasting absolutely no time. I wonder what.
Spinner
big
further
contact.
back. Lord of the Flies to get us started as we work through D2. Gio further back now, P3, your 2 battlers for the world stage further back, battling for P4. Mains to the inside, not able to get there. He'll drop back for P4.
I wonder what race control is going to think of that start from Garrett Maines. It looked very close to a jump start. We'll see what they have to say, but it looks like for the moment all the major contenders have survived the first couple of corners. We'll see once we get timing and scoring as more contact in the back into 9. Oh, there's no love in the Poconos, unlike in the real world. More drivers going off, but it seems as though for the most part, we've survived.
Hairpin 1, they are Tokyo drifting, and already a move for the lead. Who is that on the inside? The number 44, Christopher Turner from Ohio. Let's take a look again at that replay shot. AKR trying to break down what happened. A little bit of contact earlier on, and that is Christopher Turner. Or excuse me, the Floridian Liam Mahone.
More drivers
backing
off in
it
the
up,
back.
and
That's
more
one of the
further back.
Arizona
It's
drivers.
the 80. Oh my goodness, we can't even take a break to look back. There's so much carnage in this opening lap. The 60 further back will try and Connor
goodness.
Vickers
Oh,
going
my
up
goodness.
nearly 3 wide further back. It is an absolute dogfight. Look at this, Garrett Maines sliding to the inside of Rocky Moran, trying to get on the podium.
You know, these drivers thus far this weekend have been very courteous and very nice to one another. I think all that's pretty much gone out the window when you throw a $25,000 bone in front of them later on today. Garrett Maines looks like he might be struggling here with that 45 kart as we've got a battle here between P2 and P3.
How on earth is Liam Mahone back in the mix? He's on the inside right now, I believe, trying to fend off from Garrett Maines, but for the first time, we finally go bumper to bumper. It's Marcus Patterson of Indiana leading him, followed by Teddy Oates, Liam Mahone, and then Gavin Genova of Oregon. But crucially, a breakaway here, it looks like, for the 44, Christopher Turner for Columbus, Ohio, with already at least 5 or 6 kart lengths.
Got to give a huge shout out here to Federico Gotti, up 13 spots in 1 lap. An incredible start there. I don't know really what to say. Garrett Maines is going to try to make a run here. Do we go 3 wide? Are we going to see the 3 wide? Not
Mahone
quite
to the
going to get there.
inside.
Contact.
Mahone to the inside. Looked like Maines wanted to potentially make it 3 wide. Now he's got the exit. There was no push in there. I'm not sure why there's some frustration further back. But that is a done deal now. Liam Mahone up into P2. Maines does indeed have his ticket punched to the world stage. He wants a little bit more. He would definitely appreciate some security. And what a flip of the script further back. A major moment there through Popeye. One driver backing it into the
he's
kitty.
beached in the gravel. Oh no, that's going to be day over for whoever was unlucky enough to go backwards here. But I think we're going to have a pass here for P2 in a second. Garrett Maines likely not going to want to wait around behind the back of Liam Mahone. Also, Christopher Turner is the one that has bolted away as Jessica Buck does a 19.7. You go, girl, up in the with the purple lap time thus far in this race.
Number 39, again, one of our bigger movers there. 17 positions gained for the girl from Columbus, Ohio. And you get a feeling that she is not going to stop. But Garrett Maines is a dynamo right now. Already up a handful of positions. Has already gotten himself onto the podium, but looking to go 2 more, just give himself a little bit of insurance. And you want to talk about flipping the script. It was Giovanni Perez D'Amico who was on the outside looking in. He dropped back significantly at the start. He's on the back of Teddy Oates trying to get himself back into the fight.
I think if you're Giovanni, you get inside that top 3, and then you worry about the rest of it. A little bit of contact maybe from the driver in P5. That is Wembley. But you got to think if you're for some of these drivers, this is a huge stage to be on top of at this moment.
Potential move for the lead here. It looked like Liam Mahone wanted to jam it up the inside of Popeyes, then went high, was swinging it wide, and here we go. Another great exit for Mahone. He'll take it to drivers right across the stripe. They'll commit to go side by side. up the hill and into Rocky Moran. Late lunge to the inside. Will he be able to fully clear him by D1? Yes, new leader, Liam Mahone.
Boys are in the show. Play nice with one another. Garrett Maines, once again, not going to look to wait, but as I was saying, this is a huge stage for these drivers. Maybe not used to the pressure as Jessica Buck continues to go purple. She is up to P5 from the back row of the grid as Garrett Maines looks up the inside here for position number 2.
Down the hill into the S's. Does Turner have the overlap? Can he fend him off? He can for the time being. And these two need to be so careful right now, because if they continue to go wheel to wheel to battle for P3, P2, that'll immediately bring Oates, Gio, Buck, everybody further back into the mix. This could amalgamate into a 6, 7, 8 kart battle for the lead, but crucially, Liam Mahone, who's got open air, has an opportunity to take off.
Ooh, contact there behind. I believe that was Buck into the back of Giovanni Perez, who has not made an amazing start here. I think, unfortunately, maybe just lacking a little bit in the kartular department. That 39 kart is a rocket ship move. The lady from Ohio up into P4, although maybe not for long. No!
Oh, big hit!
Oh,
Jessica Buck and another up
no.
into the wall, handful into the wall. I think that might have been Wembley, or no, Cavino into the wall there, turn 11. Garrett Maines with a big send to the inside of Turner. That'll just barely beat P2. But oh my goodness, not even halfway into this main event, and the Fangs have come out incredibly early.
It seems as though the Cinderella story for Jessica Buck has come to an end. Made such a good start, was making such good progress. Looks like everybody's going to get away from that A-OK. Unfortunately, some drivers' days have just come to an end, but this just makes the fight for the podium more interesting. We'll get a replay here on the StropKart.com replay. Just a little bit too aggressive there. Unfortunately, Buck gets collected by the 48, and I believe one of the drivers with a red helmet was collected later on. Not quite sure who that is at the moment, but still a heartbreak there from the lady from Columbus, Ohio.
Halfway home in the U.S. Group A final, and a look to the inside. Giovanni Perez D'Amico trying to make that move back on Ferguson. Just a little bit of overlap correction. That's Teddy Oates.
This is the fight for the podium.
You can see the desperation right now. That point forward, he knows he needs a little bit of help right now for anyone to try and bring him into that podium battle. There's your top 3. That's the gap for 4th and 5th. And right now, Teddy Oates not interested in helping Gio. He wants to swing back.
The hard part is, you got to think, if you think you're quicker than the guy in front of you, you got maybe one lap to figure out if you want to work with this person, because the podium drivers are running away. We'll see what the lap times look like this time by, as it looks like it's going to be a 19.5 to a 19.5 to a 19.3 there for Perez D'Amico, though it says it's P3 on our timing and scoring. I'm not quite sure if that is the case, but it looks like our reigning U.S. champion's coming to life here, but does he have enough time to catch your top 3?
It's Garrett Maines with the broken transponder right now. You see that 45 in P3, and not too comfortably right now, because you've got Turner and Giovanni Perez D'Amico trying to claw their way into the picture as well. But for Christopher Turner, who had such a strong start, just got swallowed by this duo further back, and is trying to gather it back up and bring the battle back into the hairpin. Prime opportunity. Late lunge on the brakes brings it all the way to the bumper. Maybe a little bit of contact, but he's trying to make that move for second place.
Just a kiss. And what's interesting here that I'm noticing with Garrett Maines is that he's really having to initiate a lot of turn and just a handful of wheel to get this kart to cut into the corner, and then he zero steers it. Just make sure that it's a controlled slide through. I believe these two, unfortunately, for Team Arizona, are pulling away from your reigning U.S. champion and Giovanni Perez D'Amico. That gap does not seem to be getting any smaller as we've reached the halfway point.
Florida, Tennessee, Ohio. Then it's your Arizona reigning champ, Giovanni Perez D'Amico, and the Alabama native, Teddy Oates, trying to pedal their way further. Matter of fact, it's a breakaway right now from Gio. What is that gap going to look like this time by? 3.409. Slowly but surely, that gap is closing, but it could be too little too late.
I think largely, unfortunately for Giovanni, his fate is sealed. It's going to be in the hands of Christopher Turner. How much do you want to fight to get this second position? We'll see if they think big picture. But remember, some of these drivers, this is their first time racing for these high of a stakes. And I wonder if maybe we'll try to see some aggressive moves as Jessica Buck, unfortunately, all going purple. But with no real chance of getting back into the podium position.
You want to know the craziest thing? Still 14 positions gained, both
No
herself
way.
and Bryce Brown. And in that battered 39
And
is
here's
still
the
the quickest
answer. Here we
move
go.
to the inside, Chris Turner. Maine's going to try and cross him up, and you can see the point forward. This could be so costly. Turner wants that insurance. He wants that kart behind for a little bit of extra safety if there's any battling further behind. And now it is indeed Garrett Maines on the bubble, and you can get the Sharks music going, the Jaws music going, because, man, Giovanni Perez is pedaling with all his might to try and close
Oh,
that gap. Maines with a good exit.
Boys,
Does he have a run? No, tucks in a little bit further back. And then you see Ferguson Cavino just duking it out. 5th and 6th, halfway down the straightaway. But running out of time and running out of options, but Gio is absolutely coming into view.
I mean, you got to think, I would imagine, part of my ignorance to anybody here on behalf of Christopher Turner, I'm not sure what the experience is with that 44 kart. I know Garrett Maines is chock full of IRL racing experience. You got to think Garrett's got to try not to spook the 44. I think the 44 is a hair quicker at the moment, but if they fight one more time, Perez is going to get there. He might just get there anyways.
Studying at 65 miles an hour, trying to find a way through. We thought that we could potentially see our 2 favorites moving on to the World Final. We're setting the table for what could be formerly our 2 protagonists fighting for this final stop transfer spot over to the World Final. And you look at that right there, Giovanni Perez, black helmet, blue stripe, is absolutely there. I'm calling it, guys. This is a 3-kart battle for this bottom spot on the podium.
3 guys going in, 2 guys coming out, and you got to think if you're Garrett Maines, get ahead of that 44 kart and worry about the rest later. You do not want to be the first one that Giovanni Perez is going to have to deal with. I just don't know if that 45 kart has the top speed to be able to pull away from the 44, as we're going to see some head ducking action here down the Lancaster or the catch-up straightaway, as Giovanni Perez had hinted at. But we're coming to 3 to go. It's about to be put up or shut up time.
55 to 56, we're hearing from our producers here on the top speed right now. Gap now 0.7 of a second. Gio doesn't need much to be really in the mix, but that's it. That is the move out of Rocky Moran that immediately puts him within the air groove, within the drafting distance of potentially striking. Garrett Maines, what is the move going to be here? If you want to really lock yourself in, do you try and go fangs out and make a move for P2, or do you lie low and cover off from Gio?
I think Garrett's going to have to catch Christopher Turner napping. I don't know if that 45 car has enough strength to even get ahead of the 44 to make a move into the braking. And even if he does, we have your world champion versus your USA champion for the final transfer spot.
Move to the inside of the Poconos. Giovanni Perez D'Amico fully ahead, and he's in the transfer spot. And the point forward, Garrett Maines going to try and help his former rival to punch both of them into the world final.
I don't know if there's enough time. The starter has the white flag in hand. We are coming to the final lap of this race. It's really going to come down. Garrett Maines, do you settle for P3? Gio wants them to work together. We'll see if he can make the hole. Garrett's just going to have to follow him through.
At what point in this final lap will camaraderie go through the window? When is Garrett Maines going to be sick of working with Gio? This is going to be a big way of us finding out how.
Here we
Gio
go.
looking to the inside at turn 12. Will fully get ahead. No overlap. But Turner trying to find him on the exit. Maines going to go with him.
Hold
we'll
your
go
breath,
3
folks.
wide across the stripe for the white flag. 2 for 1. Garrett Maines up into P2.
I think unfortunately for Christopher Turner, that might be all she wrote. He did not need to contest that spot. Needed to fall in behind Gio Perez. And now fighting one of the fastest go-karts on the track. Maines has scampered away. This is now a battle between the 45 and the 11.
Perez wanted to make that move right then and there, but at what cost? Now Garrett Maines is taking off. And crucially, that 44 is struggling now to keep up with P2. What is the move going to be?
There is a chance that we might see Christopher Turner get to the back end of that 45 car. You can see Garrett struggling with the understeer, maybe just enough of a gap. I think this is going to come down to the last 2 corners here.
Chris Turner trying to fend off for that final transfer spot against one of the best names in K1 karting, in Arrive and Drive karting. Giovanni Perez D'Amico, a David versus Goliath story. It's David surrounded by 2 Goliaths. Garrett Maines with a future secured in sim racing, trying to keep his real life driving hopes in one piece.
And for Giovanni Perez, this is also his shot, his big chance to keep his racing career going in the real world. It's going to be Mahon in. Jackson, call us home.
Liam Mahone, your 2024 champion, uncontested, out of turn number 12.
Oh, he's going to make the move!
First repeat driver further back. What a move! Giovanni Perez for the final transfer spot, not able to get there.
Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable.
Huge.
Christopher Turner at the buzzer, just able to fend off. And in one of the biggest upsets we have ever seen, Giovanni Perez D'Amico will not be able to return.
Oh, my goodness. Your U.S. champion falls at the pre-final. We'll have your podium or your winner interview coming up here. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 wide across the line, a bit farther back. For Team Arizona, it is heartbreak coming up just a spot short. I want to give a huge credit to Giovanni Perez. Could have absolutely put the bumper to the back of Christopher Turner. A lot of sportsmanship on display. We'll have your winner's interview coming up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't stop smiling. That was a great race. Got more coming up in just a second.
And it is party time here at K1 Circuit Winchester. And it was a runaway from Liam Mahone, but you'll talk about that battle for P2 and P3, those final 2 transfer spots to the Worlds. That is going to be a battle, a race, a move that we're going to be talking about for a long time here at K1 Circuit. We'll try and get a word in here. Liam Mahone, 2024 champ, and a hard-fought battle there to break away and go back-to-back. Talk to me about that drive.
It was so much fun. Starting from third, I saw everybody starting to gain on me throughout, whatever, the straightaways and stuff. I just didn't have that top-end speed. But, later on I found out everywhere inside that's not the outer perimeter, I could just gap some time. And so once I kind of stopped feeling Garrett and just hitting me, telling me, all right, we got to go, I was like, all right, we're good. And I look back, and every time it just kind of farther and farther. I'm like, okay, we're good. I still got more time. Oh, my God, it was so much fun, though, to start, man. Everybody's just trying. I went down, I think, fourth at one point, maybe fifth, and just slowly got my way up through those corners. And it's so good to be back after 2 years. I'm so excited. I can't wait for Worlds after this.
I was going to say borderline incognito last year. Was this the position you were ever expecting to be back in?
One can hope, right? That's the whole point, is that you never know if it will. It's really up to what you choose and what the Lord above chooses, right? But I always hope I'd be back here. I always said I'd be back here, and it's good to be back to where I was last time, and then now I get to be back going for 25,000 again. So
back-to-back champ. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep it going here, going around here. And Garrett Maines, we talk about one of the scarier drives, but Tom Brady levels of being cool in the pocket and making moves to get yourself into the transfer spot. Were you expecting to make the show there?
No, I was not. If I had not gotten such a good start, I really don't know if I would have been able to do much with it, because I was so tight to the S's. I mean, Liam was putting like 5 kart lengths on me every time we went through there. I just felt like I was sitting duck because I couldn't get the exit down to the long straightaway. And then I also had a really bad vibration, which was keeping me from being able to get on the brakes late enough into the hairpin there. So I was just kind of like vulnerable, but I was able to get enough of a gap, and we were kind of working together well. I obviously was pushing Liam there. I knew he had a kart that could turn, so I was like, I'll give him the straight speed and I'll try to play catch up the rest of the lap. But man, to be able to put it all together, to be able to come back after all of the the luck we've had today, I feel like I couldn't have scripted that any better, so I'm not complaining about second. To be able to, stand on the podium with Liam this year and Gio last year, you got some class talent out here, so it's really cool to be able to do that. And huge thank you to Wigan Water Technologies for all their support, MCU Body, and Lennox. Just, man, this is crazy. It's cool to be able to do it again.
Heading back to Worlds. Congrats, Garrett.
Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, a guy who fended off against some of the best in the business, Chris Turner. It was feisty out there for that bottom transfer spot. Talk to me about that battle in the closing laps.
Oh, absolutely. In the first few laps, I knew I had a kart that could turn really well. Straight line speed, I think Garrett just had me beat by a mile. As soon as I saw Giovanni was closing up, I just started working with him. I just gave him it. I didn't really want to fight him. Then Gio, he had a really good kart. He had a really good run. And then just coming down the main straight, all of a sudden they're just right there, So, yeah, it's a pleasure to be able to, race with these such class drivers. I mean, I can't even thank them enough for the experience that they've given me out so far.
Anyone else you want to thank for making this podium possible?
Yeah, obviously my family, my dad came out. He's my #1 supporter. Jessica Buck, the Buck family, everybody back at home at Buckeye Raceway. It's just such a pleasure to be able to come out and do this.
The first Midwest region driver to be on the K1 podium. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tag?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You're gonna make weight. Okay, you're good.
I'm sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. It makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle.
Hey guys, I'm Chris G. I'm Kart Chaser's driver fitness coach, and today I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to strengthen your shoulders for more endurance and better stability in the kart. Here we go. Okay, so exercise number 1 is the front rope pull-through cable raises. Okay, now this is the upright cable row. What you are doing here is you're picking a straight bar, as you see, and we're working the side areas of our shoulders, the medial. Exercise number 3, the dumbbell shrugs. As you guys can tell, I like to pause at the top before releasing. It's great for your strength, for that wheel stability. It's great for those shoulders and that upper back area. Chris G coaching, race-ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do here. See you on the next one.
Welcome to the future of kart race preparation. Kart Sim Pro North America. Featuring laser-scanned North American kart circuits and precision-tuned kart physics developed using real telemetry, dyno and tyre data, Kart Sim Pro North America delivers the most advanced and realistic kart simulation experience available today. Whether you're training for race day, refining your lines, or shaving tenths off your personal best, Kart Sim Pro gives you pro-level insight without leaving your home. Trusted by world champions, coaches, and karting enthusiasts alike, this is where virtual practice translates into real-world performance. Experience the thrill, the challenge, and the edge. Kart Sim Pro North America. Use code CHASER20 to get 20% off today.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with 2 classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
Wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix! James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars!
On track or off, Brandon Jarsekrak Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarsekrak, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarsekrakRacing.com.
Hey, what's up, Caleb? What's up, Brandon? You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all of the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today. Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico? Non-GMO? Gluten-free? Kosher? Magnesium? B12? B6?
Yeah, it's good.
B5? Biotin? And zero sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
Alrighty, well, we're still trying to catch breath here after what has been one of the more interesting national finals here for our USA adults. But we're ready to get started here with your adult American podium. Let's get started here. In third place, coming from Ohio, Christopher Turner. In second, from Richmond, Virginia, Garrett Maines. And your winner, getting his second K1 national title from Daytona, Florida, Liam Mohan! Mahan going third to first in the opening laps, building that gap, and a battle for second, third, and fourth. Big smiles, everybody. Go ahead and grab those trophies. Perfect. Thank you, guys. And, of course, for these three gentlemen, their job is not done. They're strapping back in the go-karts. 2 rounds of qualifying and the K1E World Finals coming up.
Legacies aren't built overnight. They're built 1 second at a time. Never taking a lap off, and always pushing the limits. K1, helping you build your legacy from the beginning.
Kyle, what are you doing?
It's got my new Greyhound seat.
You don't even have a cart.
Doesn't matter. I have a Greyhound.
Who the f is Kyle Cuthbertson? Doesn't even have a go-kart.
Doesn't matter.
Cuthbertson through on Turney. Turney in the dirt.
Macron Motorsports builds champions every day. Drivers who won on the world stage. The Tillotson T4 Series is pure spec racing. Same engine, same chassis. When you win, it's because you were the best that day. Your edge is not the kart. It's the setup, the strategy, and the race team. With our Arrive and Drive program, you simply bring your gear, we provide the equipment and the championship-winning support to every event. Stop wrenching, start racing. Your path to the T4 Nations Cup in Spain starts with us. For more information, contact us at macronmotorsports.net.
The day is ours and we seize it. Haters, man, they got reasons. Grab the moment, we freeze it. Go to the touch, oh, what a rush. Follow your heart, homie, go where the love. Let it rain, let it flow, let it flood. Swimming in good vibrations, it's a celebration. It's the liberation of everything we are. Every time you in the clouds, they gon' try to bring you down. Do not let them just go ahead and get it, get it, get it, get it.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspects with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Empire Karts, your trusted trackside kart specialist, proudly supporting champions of the Future America Series, West Coast karting teams, and racers. Empire Karts, your trackside solution.
Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
K1 Circuit, the world's greatest outdoor karting facility, is now open. Open karting and rental session schedules are available online. Rentals will resume today after the race event at 5 p.m. Thanks to Kart Chaser for live streaming the event at K1 Circuit. Your coverage will resume shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kart Chaser's presentation of the K1 Speed World E-Karting Championships. I'm Dean Helton, alongside Jackson Lambros and all of us here at Kart Chaser. Welcome to qualifying time. These drivers, same format as earlier today, will have one shot in these go-karts, an 8-minute session, and then we'll re-roll the dice, see what they wind up with, and we will set the grid for your final coming up. Jackson, we've had a chance to catch our breaths. Thoughts, concerns, feelings, emotions after the U.S. final?
I think for both of us, right, walking in after I did podiums, I think it was you who looked at me and just said, I feel like I'm in shock right now. Just the plethora of emotions both of us experienced, not just here in the booth, but obviously across so many of these drivers, whether they were trying to keep some kind of legacy going here in K1 E-Worlds or you know, trying to get themselves on the global stage for the first time. And, you know, we just saw it in the scale lines before they came out. You know, Giovanni Perez D'Amico giving everybody a high five before they went out. If your heart doesn't ache at least a little bit for that young man and the drive he just put on, you can't call yourself a racing fan, because you know, and if you followed his story at all outside of K1, karting as a whole, you know how hard he works. And I know in utmost confidence he will be working as hard as possible to be back here stronger and trying to return as a national champion and to make a run one more time for the Worlds in 27. We lock in, we look to the World Finals
And of course, a carbon copy of the format we had for the USA Quals. 2 rounds, 2 different karts. And we're sounding like a broken record here because we do keep saying it. But absolutely, at this point in the day, you're going to be dang near even on times. And for the first time, it feels like we're seeing some Briggs-style qualifying here, as there was plenty of bumper being used there from Liam Mahone all over Garrett Maines.
We are looking at the Americans working together. The two of your Americans that obviously made it through via the U.S. Finals working together. I think Garrett maybe not having quite the field that he would want. I think they were trying to work together, and maybe that 49 cart just gone a little bit sour here for Mr. Maines at the moment. Currently, the first time in 18-7. Maybe they're trying to do like a how do I put it? A shake and bake.
There you go.
In layman's terms, they're trying to do the shake and bake of, you have to, it's faster to get a run on the person that you're towing off of rather than to just start the lap on the bumper of the person. So it's nice to see that the Bald Eagles are working together, but still very early on in this session, and we'll see what kind of lap times these karts can produce.
What would the scientific definition of shake and bake be? You guys let us know.
I was going to say like
chat.
tandem. Like
something like that. 5.5 minutes to go here in Quali 1. Liam Mahone and Garrett Maines getting things started here. Now it's Nathan Wilkie for Canada splitting the difference, but 18.720 getting us started. 9.34 for Wilkie. And a little bit further back, 26 of Amelia Bermudez Fonseca trying to get Mexico into the top half of the field.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting now. If for sure these drivers all have a little bit of relationships with one another. They all kind of know one another. But the second that you see 2 Americans working together, you got to go, oh, I got to give a phone call to some of my other countrymen, see if we can at least give ourselves a spot and a way to control this race. Kind of very reminiscent of what we see in the NASCAR Cup Series on super speedways. All the teams and the manufacturers working with one another. I wouldn't at all be surprised if we see these nations start to band together to see if they can at least have the opportunity to control these races.
Flying out of Rocky Moran corner there. And a little bit of an excursion further back, as these limits, even though we are past the point of wheel-to-wheel racing, these track limits continue to be tested as the day goes on, as Sakamoto rubber continues to be laid down. These guys continuing to find any way they can find a tenth, a fraction of a tenth, as we've now realized just how important qualifying could potentially be. Yes, we see some big movers, but unless you are really out in front, there's a good chance to get swatted.
I was going to say, well, as Garrett Maines pointed out in his interview, if he didn't have that lightning reaction on the start and really put himself in a position where he could kind of be the meat in the sandwich and be, the one that kind of came out of everything, he would have been right in the hornet's nest where Giovanni Perez got swallowed up and really lost all the time that he would have needed to where, Giovanni looked like he was about the fastest go-kart on that track in the U.S. final, just lost way too much time in the beginning of that. So, and on the flip side, you've got Jessica Buck coming from 24th, I believe it was, to almost have a chance.
Monster comeback drive. Monster comeback drive.
It's one of those things that it matters, but it is overcomable. But still, better to have and not need than to need and to not have.
Give a tip of the cap as well to Billy Delgado as a result of that one step off of the podium, up 16 positions there, or 15, ended up in P5. Shady Tadrus as well, up 13. A lot of really good comeback drives from the rear of the field. But again, you got to remember just how far forward those top 3 or 4 were really separated from the main group. So again, qualifying is important, but it isn't important. You can make moves early on, but if you want to be in contention for the win, in contention for the podium, you got to be out in front by lap 3 or 4, or else that difference is going to continue to grow lap after lap.
And I will say it's going to get easier now that we have a bit of a smaller field. Only 13 drivers in this final event that we have coming up here, and probably just a little less than about 30 minutes, I would say. But still, like I said, it's better to have it and not need. The last thing you'd want is to be, let's say hypothetically, a Canadian behind 3 Puerto Ricans, and all of a sudden all the Puerto Ricans go defensive. Where are you going to go? So I'm not quite sure if we'll see that level of sophisticated teammate or, working together between the countrymen, but definitely track position will be key.
Liam Mahone, Nathan Wilkie, still Garrett Maines in 3rd. Now Christopher Turner trying to carry that momentum. P4 on track with a 119.475. Andrew Coelho It's America and Canada dominating the top 5. Then a pair of Mexicans, Ruben Alaya Perez and then Rodrigo Arellano in 6th and 7th. Then the pair of Puerto Ricans, Alexander Rodriguez and Hector Navarez. Again, Navarez looking very strong earlier on in qualifying. Only best for P9 right now as it stands.
We've got
another
a new pole
really
sitter.
good, really great qualifying lap there. Nathan Wilkie to the top.
I mean, only by 500ths of a second. It's really, really close at the sharp end of the field. Garrett Maines as well as Arellano is at within 0.3 of the fast time. Very, very close here in this qualifying group. And I will say the wind has picked up. It looks like it's going to peak in about 30 minutes. We'll have gusts of 15-mile-an-hour tailwind going into Rocky Moran. That also is pushing you, of course, off the exit of Rocky Moran. So got to deal with that the whole way in. Could we start seeing a lot of these drivers start doing the really aggressive head ducking that we've seen from some of the teens and the adults from earlier today?
And I'll tell you what, Dean, standing on the grid there for the grid walk, it felt like potentially a headwind going down the back straightaway in between 11 and 12. So that could absolutely increase the effect of the draft right here. And that aero duct going to be all the more important come the main event. Checkered flag is out. It'll be Cajelo, Rodriguez, Navarez, and Tyler DeLuda Christian who get there first. And up next, we'll switch out the karts. We'll give everybody one more shot as we continue to set the stage for the 5th edition of the World Finals here on Kart Chaser.
We're down here at the paddock. We're going to talk to some of the drivers before they go ahead and jump in. Let's talk to the Americans.
Drivers running it, including us.
We got to grab you here, Garrett Maines. Congratulations on the second place in the pre-final for the final for the United States. What are you thinking going into the second qualifier?
I don't know where we were in the first qualifier, but I was trying to work with Liam there. I felt like that's how I felt. I didn't really have any speed at all on the straightaway, and Liam didn't have any turning, so it was really hard to be able to link up there and use the draft because he couldn't lead and I couldn't really get away from him. So I guess we'll see how this goes in the second qualifier. I mean, on the bright side, if I qualify in the back half of the top 10, there's not too much further you can go back, and I already had to do it once today. So, hopefully we'll get a better run in qualifying too here. I don't really know what to think, but I think this is about how it went last year. First quali wasn't the one; quali 2 might be it. So, well, you were also second last year in the U.S. final. So maybe history is. Yeah. I'd be okay with that. If history could repeat itself and I start second, and we just completely repeat the script, that'd be awesome. That's the goal for today. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm happy with where we're starting. That we're in the event. So, got one more shot at this. Best of luck. Thank you. Let's see if we can grab a couple of the other drivers. Mind if we grab a word? What's your name? Where are you from? Well, I guess we know where you're from. What's your name? Can you tell? Christian Tyler. Christian. What are we thinking after qualifying 1? What are we thinking going into Q2?
I've got some work to do, but myself and the other Canadians we're coming.
We saw the two Americans of Garrett Maines and, oh my God, I'm forgetting the other driver. Lahun. I think I'm pronouncing that right. My apologies if I'm butchering that. But we saw the Americans work together in that first session. Have you talked with the Canadians? Are you guys going to plan on working together in Q2?
Absolutely, man. We know what we want. We want that world championship. And we're going to bring it home. We brought it home yesterday, and we're going to do it again today. So 3 of us are going to work together and do whatever we can to do that.
Roger that. Best of luck in Q2. Okay. Let's see if we can grab. We gotta talk to the cool helmet guy. Señor, habla inglés?
A little bit, but this guy talk a good English.
May we translate? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can speak.
Just asking thoughts after Q1 and thoughts going into Q2.
So the weather is changing time by time. Right now, I don't have the feeling of a good time, so probably I need a good car to be there in the top 5.
I see. And I have to ask, is your helmet an original or is it a replica?
This is original. Yeah. Obviously came with a flat visor, but I upgraded to bubble one with the yellow color.
It doesn't matter how cool the helmets get, you absolutely have the coolest helmet here.
Thank you.
Best of luck in Q3 or in Q2.
Bye-bye.
Jackson, back up to you.
Hey guys, another Kart Chaser Driver Fitness episode with me, Chris G. Today, I'm going to show you how to protect those ribs in the seat. We're doing core. Exercise number 1 is the bench leg raise. Controlled all the way down, full range of motion. Make sure you pick up that tailbone off the pad. Coming down, controlling. Great for the lower abdomen area and obliques. Floor slider mountain climbers, exercise number 2. Exercise number 3, the plate-loaded decline bench sit-up. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Chris G Coaching, race-ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with 2 classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
Karting isn't just speed. It's control, precision, freedom. At Atlanta Motorsport Park, Kart Freedom isn't just a team. It's where drivers are made.
Bottom half of qualifying underway here for your world drivers. 3 of USA's versus some of the best from Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Italy. Jackson Lambros alongside Dean Helt as we've got our final qualifying session of the day up and away. And it is a flying start to get us started here as these guys continue to just mash the throttle there coming out of turn 12.
And the flags have gone limp. No tailwind into Rocky Moran, so I wonder if maybe that will have an effect on the lap times. It is an 18.643 set by Nathan Wilkie, the Canadian, that currently leads the way, followed by Leah Mahon. I apologize for the bit of a name kerfuffle. And then Garrett Maines currently sits in P3. The 2 Bald Eagles behind the Maple Leaf.
Lone Mexican out in front right now, Rodrigo Arellano. Working his way down the hill into the S's. Has taken a slightly more interesting line, not ramping the curves, not really going wide either, just taking it as straight as possible through there.
Yeah, maybe the tires aren't quite awake. Maybe, it takes, from everything we've seen, it takes a lap or 2 for those tires to really open up. Very, very hard Sakamoto rubber needed to be used for these electric karts. Very, very heavy go-karts, and maybe just taking a second to adjust to these new conditions. And as mentioned, I mean, literally it was 15 minutes ago when these guys did their first session. The wind was blowing. We had gusts of upwards of 10 miles an hour, if not more. And now currently the flags, they've got some flicker in them, but I think largely it is going to be a windless affair here for this second qualifying session.
118.643, the time to beat from Nathan Wilkie in Q1, getting that 42 kart to a 118.643. Liam Mahen further back, 118.720. How's it looking so far? 120, 119 from Rodriguez. Still kind of in the warm-up lap right now. Again, lap 2 and 3 where we really seem to see the flyers here. But we continue as Arellano works his way down the hill once more. Past couple of years, there has not been a single non-American on the world podium. Matter of
Garrett
fact,
Maines, hello. 18.2, that is 4/10 clear of provisional pole position. The Bald Eagles are back up on top for now.
front row lockup provisionally here as Chris Turner gets there. And how about this? Hector Navarez out of nowhere. Busts out a 119.455, putting PR on the top, trying to fill you in here. Past couple of years, it has been an all-American sweep, at least in the outdoor. Complete American podium on the world stage in 23 and 24. Only time that was broken was last year, thanks to Nathan Wilkie's P3 result. But with Wilkie continuing to pedal very hard to get to the front here, and with a mighty fast Hector Navarez adult debut after 2 years in the teens, he could absolutely be a dark horse to try and challenge some of our ultra-fast Americans, Garrett Maines, Chris Turner, and Liam Mahen. All of those guys trying to get themselves that 25,000 as well.
I believe currently that time that Navarez has set would put him roughly P5 or P6 with a, I believe that is a 19.4, yeah, 19.455 would put him roughly tied with Christopher Turner, although Christopher Turner close to improving his provisional time, so we'll see if maybe the track has slowed down a little bit. Certainly not slowing down for the Richmond native of Garrett Maines.
Navarez improving to a 119.455, not enough to close that gap. Matter of fact, second in change. Still the difference right now between your front row. A little bit further back, the number 12. Christian Tyler DeLuda. Had a quiet start to the day so far, but has been one of the faster Canadians on track. And again, like so many of our drivers, maybe coming a little bit from a more indoor background, coming with a little bit more curbitis. Again, staying off there. Just running it nice and wide, but not carrying it to the rumble strips.
Curbitis, yeah, we're putting that on t-shirts at kartchaser.com. Don't forget to stop by. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these drivers, as mentioned, this is their first time on a really on a circuit of this size, outdoor. A lot of different things. I mean, I think the lowest speed corner at this K1 circuit is probably about as fast as you can go in an indoor go-kart. A little bit of a tunnel back here. I think this is the 12 of DeLuda.
Christian DeLuda, I believe. Yep.
All right, and then the 16 of Hector
Hector
Navarez.
Navarez
toe here.
Might be getting some help from the draft. No improvement there, but Garrett Maines, fastest in Sector 3 last time around, 118.292. Just about matches his last time around. How about Hector Navarez coming to the line, 119.492. That last time around, you have got a handful of drivers in the 19s all the way back to Radar Olano, but still a full second or so back as now Navarez tries to get to the inside of DeLuda. Will move him out of the way.
You know, I'm not I wouldn't consider myself a gambling man, but I do know how odds work. And for Garrett Maines, you got to be thinking, wish I pulled this kart in about 5 minutes when we get ready to go for the main event. I would love to know what the odds of getting back-to-back very, very good karts are going to be. And I think Garrett Maines showing that he is the favorite for sure heading into the final here in a couple of minutes' time.
Liam Mahen becomes the first American back-to-back champ since Peyton Phillips in 2023. Ironically, Peyton Phillips also winning the World Championship both of those years, 2019, 2023. And now you look at Garrett Maines putting himself in a prime position to do just that as well on the globe stage and come away with $50,000 over the past 24 months. This is why you don't ask the announcer to do math.
That's 5,000 months of Kart Chaser
That
Premium.
is 5,000 months of Kart Chaser Premium. Just over 90 seconds left on the clock. Tyler trying to stay in the tracks here of Hector Navarez. Has not been able to be there. Again, you're just seeing that jump in the saddle as these guys continue to try and maximize that straight line speed. Talking to Hunter Bolton in production right now, speed trap seems to be around mid-50s, sometimes higher into the 56s, 57s. But in these conditions right now, without the draft, seeing about 55s right now. Nathan Wilkie just clocking in a 54.9 from our speed trap just at the end of the long 900-meter backstretch, the run into turn 11.
Interesting to see that the times really haven't. We've got a clump of drivers. I mean, the gap between P2 and really P7 right now is less than, it's 3.5 tenths. And then there's just Garrett Maines. That's a whole second
League of his
faster
own.
in his own zip code here today.
2 good laps here from Rodrigo Arellano and Alexander Rodriguez, the Mexican and the Puerto Rican. Leapfrog Hector Navarez down to P4. Another good lap from Chris Turner. He improves to P5, putting in a 119.553. Checkered flag this time around. Hector Navarez going to get one more opportunity. And finally, we see the sun just starting to peek through a little bit more to heat up this mile-long track. But again, we have reached that point in the session where the tires have just about had it.
Some screaming going on the racing
Absolutely.
surface. It's crazy, I think, because like when we're here for PKC events, all you can hear really is the engine noise. Very seldomly are you able to hear not only the squeal of tires, but the ripple of the curbs. Like I was standing out by where the kiddos were yesterday, and it was nothing else. So very, very surreal experience to hear all the extra noises that usually get hidden by engine sound.
Probably something that Garrett Maines might actually benefit from, because one of the kind of meta things what goes on there, turning down the engine sound, turning up the tire sound, getting as much intel as possible. Could that potentially be a factor? We'll have to wait and see. Checkered flag is out. Garrett Maines 118.264. Rod Arellano will be alongside him in row number 1. But look at this late run there. Christopher Turner 119.255. Gets in front of the international competition at the last minute to potentially make it an All-American front row. No, Hector Navarez responding and gets himself just into the 119s once again with a 1:13. That'll be it. Maines, Navarez on the front row with Chris Turner and Rodrigo Arellano behind. And Alex Rodriguez, Nathan Wilkie giving chase. It's time for the big one. The K1 World Finals coming up after this on Kart Chaser.
Let's go race.
Come on, man.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tag?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You're gonna make way. Okay, you're good.
Sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. It makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle.
Hey guys, I'm Chris G. I'm Kart Chaser's driver fitness coach, and today I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to strengthen your shoulders for more endurance and better stability in the kart. Here we go. Okay, so exercise number 1 is the front rope pull-through cable raises. Okay, now this is the upright cable row. What you are doing here is you're picking a straight bar, as you see, and we're working the side areas of our shoulders, the medial. Exercise number 3, the dumbbell shrugs. As you guys can tell, I like to pause at the top before releasing. It's great for your strength, for that wheel stability. It's great for those shoulders and that upper back area. Chris G coaching, Race-ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do here. See you on the next one.
Welcome to the future of kart race preparation. Kart Sim Pro North America. Featuring laser-scanned North American kart circuits and precision-tuned kart physics developed using real telemetry, dyno and tyre data, Kart Sim Pro North America delivers the most advanced and realistic kart simulation experience available today. Whether you're training for race day, refining your lines, or shaving tenths off your personal best, Kart Sim Pro gives you pro-level insight without leaving your home. Trusted by world champions, coaches, and karting enthusiasts alike, this is where virtual practice translates into real-world performance. Experience the thrill, the challenge, and the edge. Kart Sim Pro North America. Use code CHASER20 to get 20% off today.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with two classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
Catching up here with your last year podium stander in the form of Nathan Wilkie. It looked really, really strong earlier on this morning, but talk to me about that qualifying session for you.
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, the second one wasn't as good as the first one, but first one we were able to put in a good time. So starting on the front row, new territory for me. First one I started third, last one fourth. So front row this time. We'll see what we can do.
What's it going to take here to go back-to-back on the podium?
It's definitely going to take a lot. I mean, it's a really, really talented field as always. And yeah, I'm just going to give it everything I have and hope it's enough.
We appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.
And I think he's gotten sick of talking to me at this point, but Garrett Main's putting a second on the field there in quali for the second half. Talk to me about that lap. Talk to me about the confidence levels here going into the main event.
I think that's the confidence booster you need. You know, I've never started on the front. Well, I've started on the front row. I've never started on the pole in a race at K1 Circuit. So, you know, honestly, like I've been complaining, I haven't exactly landed the kart I wanted all day. That was the first time that I felt like I had some good straight line speed and I had some good cornering. Like I could get the kart to do what I wanted it to do. Just really happy to be able to at least take advantage of that once this weekend and show what I had. I mean, I've seen a lot of people get a chance in those karts today, and you know, to finally get my butt in that seat, be able to put it on the pole, and you know, just start on the right end of the field this time. I think it's a huge relief.
We talked about it a little bit on Friday, but for you to go back to back here, what would that mean for you?
I don't even want to think too far ahead of this, but it would mean a lot for my racing career. I'm trying to, you know, to finish out a Rookie of the Year run in GR Cup, and you know, thank you to Wigan Water Technologies for getting me out there and Scott at MCU Body. I would not be able to even compete in that series if it wasn't for them. And you know, after last year being able to launch my Spec E30 career and really get it off the ground early in the season with the win in the World Championship last year, that 25 grand went straight in that race car, paid off all the bills, and like got that car running like it needed to, won 9 races and really launched my career. So hopefully you know, we can win another one and further it from here.
I'll let you get ready here. Thanks, Garrett.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Catching up with Keith here, one of the head mechanics at K1 Circuit. It's been a very long week for you getting these karts ready, but talk to me about the work that's gone into getting these karts ready for the championship.
It has been very challenging. Sorry, we got this battery. You see what I mean? We are so busy in here, a lot of things to be done. It has been very challenging, right, and very time consuming. We actually had to get some help from the head office. So we had 3 guys come in, and we got another guy in to actually help with the workload because it was a whole lot of things to be done. But all being said, the guys performed excellent. We were able to get all the karts up and running very good. Very few issues. We only had about maybe 3 karts that had some problems, you know. And you know, you can't really predict for the inevitable accidents, the running off tracks that you'll have. So I would say that it has been a wonderful, the events were wonderful, and it went, as far as I'm concerned, extremely well, and I'm very happy.
I'll let you get back to work here. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Everybody, it is time to announce our starting grid for the 2026 K1 Speed World E-Karting Championship in the adult division. They are going for the $25,000 prize. And I'm not going to mess this up this time because he's the first one on the grid, sitting in pole position. We've got Garrett Maines here. He is our defending world champion. A quick word with you, Garrett. You got no cars in front of you. How does it feel?
I'm just so excited to be able to start on the front row. A little bit easier to find me this time, but yeah, I mean, I've never started on the pole at K1 circuit before, and to be able to put a lap like that together in Q2 just takes a lot of the pressure off here. Now, just hopefully we got something for him in the race, and let's see how it pans out in the next 10 laps.
Absolutely. And sharing the front row here is another podium finisher from last year. This is Nathan Wilkie. He was our first Canadian on the World Championship podium since our very first year. Nathan Wilkie, how does it feel to share the front row here?
Yeah, it feels good. Happy with my qualifying effort. Been feeling locked in all week, so we'll give it everything I got and see what we can do.
All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and move forward here to the third position here. Have a very quick word here as well, because he is now our new U.S. champion and a two-time U.S. champion. Liam, how are you feeling going into this race here?
Feeling pretty good. I didn't know where I stood in qualifying, to be honest with you. I thought I was a lot farther back than I was, but I'm back in third where I started in U.S. just now, and you know, I'm hoping it's going to be good. I got Garrett in front of me, so we'll see. We can have a little duel between us, see who's two-time, so it'll be fun.
All right, perfect. And now in the fourth position here, we're looking at Rodrigo Arellano from Mexico, looking to go ahead and put Mexico on the podium here in the World Championships. Then we'll step back here to fifth position, Hector Navarez. I want to have a quick word with Hector here. Now, Hector is probably maybe the only driver and one of few, if any, to actually compete in all 4 world championships here at K1 Circuit. Isn't that right? And this is your first time in the adult division. You're usually in the teen division. Last year, I know there was a heartbreak for you while you were way up in lead, but I'm sure you're chasing redemption for this race.
Yeah, starting here P5. I feel pretty confident. I think I got a good kart. Qualifying was pretty nice other than like one track limit, but I'll see what I can do here from P5.
All right, perfect. And he's been on the podium before for the World Championship. We'll see how he does. In the sixth position here, let's go ahead and announce Christopher Turner. Again, he was our driver here that finished third recently here in the U.S. Championship, just in our last main race. All right, lining up on kart number 27th and 7th place from Puerto Rico. Give it up for Alexander Rodriguez. And in kart number 26 from Canada, this is Andrew Coelho. And in kart number 30 from Mexico, this is Ruben Ayala Perez. Kart number 14 from Canada, Christian Tyler Dagula. And in kart number 20 in the 11th position here, we've got Emilia Bermudez Fonseca from Mexico. And in kart number 5, our first driver from Italy to ever race in the K1 Speed E-Karting World Championship. Real special for him. Give it up here for Eugenio Porras Esteban. And on last but certainly not least, because remember folks, this is the very best in the world from K1 Speed from Puerto Rico. Christian Mitchell is going to do everything he can to work his way forward in this race. All right, from this point on, it's time to leave it to the professionals here. Very excited to see who's going to become our 2026 K1 Speed World E-Karting Champion in the adult division, and most importantly, who is going to take home $25,000. That is certainly the biggest karting prize in the world. Let's go racing.
Let's do it. Thanks, Ryan. It's a moment that we have been waiting here for the past 12 months, and these drivers have been itching for an opportunity to get, as we heard, the biggest prize in karting. Garrett Maines on pole will be alongside Nathan Wilkie. Liam Mahone will be alongside Rodrigo Arellano, row number 2. Row 3, Hector Navarez and Chris Turner. Alexander Rodriguez and Andrew Coelho will be a little bit further back with Ruben Ayala Perez and Christian Tyler DeLuda further back in the field. Might have an issue here with one of our karts. Struggling to get going. We saw that on pit exit as well. And it might be an issue with the cable itself. But slight issues further back. We'll continue to go through the starting order here. Alexander Rodriguez in 7th. Andrew Coelho in 8th. Ruben Ayala Perez in P8. Christian Tyler DeLuda. Emilio Bermudez Fonseca. Martin Eugenio Porras Pichan. And Christian Mitchell rounding out your field of 13. Jackson Lambros with you here in the broadcast booth. Of course, joined this weekend by Dean Helt. We're throwing you off on the deep end here, my friend. A very big race, a very big cash prize. This is something unlike anything we have seen in karting.
13 have made it this far, but there can only be one. There can only be one winner of the $25,000 prize. There are prizes for 2nd and 3rd place. But the big one where you become a world champion is like nothing else. Garrett Maines, he seems to be smiling a lot. I noticed on the grid, he seems happy-go-lucky. We'll see if the driver in the number 1 kart can bring it home. Hopefully everybody's able to get out of the way here and get reformed. Although we saw yesterday when they had to sit on the grid for a little bit, it turned into one of the most interesting races of the day. So I don't know, man. I think any one of these 13 drivers with the right amount of luck and the right amount of, how do I put it, je ne sais quoi, can win this race. Might have to use the bumper. Let's see what it looks like in 10 laps time.
We talked about it earlier on this weekend. Over $80,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. The junior $7,000 to the winner. The teens $15,000 to the winner. And in a weekend where we've already across America given away plenty of cash prizes to some of the fastest karters in the nation, you are looking at the biggest one. Garrett Maines on pole position here. Again, with that cash, has used it to secure a future in sim racing and launch his career in the real stuff, going up into GR86 Cup that could potentially fuel him for years, for seasons to come.
And I hate to be the weatherman once again today, but the sun has finally joined us. Track temp now up to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Nice and toasty. Should get these Sakamoto tires activated. Looks like everybody should be good to go here. And we're about a minute and a half away from deciding who's going to be the 2026 K1 E-World Karting Championship.
Nearly double the track temp of what we saw this morning. It's taken a while, but the sun, just at the right time, has finally peered its way out into the Californian desert. And at just the right time, we have a picture-perfect backdrop for 10 laps of some of the most intense racing and some of the best indoor and outdoor electric karters across North America, Europe, and beyond. Garrett Maines on pole, trying to go back-to-back. Nathan Wilkie trying to be the first international K1 adult champion. Will we see a new winner? Will someone go back-to-back? Or will we have a brand new winner? Who's going to win $25,000? Let's find out. Let's go racing in the World Adults Final here in 2026. Phenomenal start for Garrett Maines to the inside. Late look to the inside. Liam Mahone trying to get the Canadian Nathan Wilkie down to P3. Was he able to work through? Yes, another phenomenal start. I think Hector Navarro is up into P3. Maybe a big mothball further back. Look at this, 2x2 into the hairpin. It is a mothball from P5 on back, but crucially, Garrett Maines up and away in P1.
The top 5 say see you later, while everybody else is going to fight over the scraps here in P6. Let's see who's got what in terms of the kart department. We saw when Garrett Maines felt like he had finally his first good go-kart of the weekend, put almost a second on the field in qualifying. I can only hope for those at home, unless you're supporting Garrett Maines, of course, that this is not a runaway, but the mid-pack is going to be where most of the fighting is going to be done. Big moves there into turn 9 as we head up towards the Poconos.
That's Ruben Ayala Perez trying to make a move there on Andrew Coelho. He does make that for P8. And again, you're looking at that massive freight train further back. And now just further back, I believe the 2 Puerto Ricans going for the bottom spot on the podium in the last cash-paying position. The 24, Arulano Rodrigo, pedaling against Hector Navarez, up 2 positions from the start. If you want to make a move, you got to do it early. And further back, the 51, Nathan Wilkie, down a handful of positions from the start, knows that. But lap number 1 in the books. Garrett Maines gets exactly what the doctor ordered here and is fully clear. Look at this late move. Nathan Wilkie all the way down to Rocky Moran corner, but around the outside, Arellano tried hanging onto it. And the fact that that did not end in the wall, phenomenal driving from the Mexican.
Lots of stability in these very heavy go-karts. Big move up. Oh my goodness, what a move up the inside. The door check from the number 27. Not quite sure that is Alexander Rodriguez in the Aura Farming helmet. But for Garrett Maines, this has been a perfect start. More contact. I think maybe some exceptions have been taken to that rule, but it seems as though everybody has gotten away. What I want to point out is that the 24 and the 44 were on the podium of the U.S. Final for the adults. Those go-karts are now circulating. I believe in P3 and P4 is more contact there in the mid-pack.
Big touch. Both of these guys duking it out behind the astronaut. That's Rodrigo Arellano, I believe, and Andrew Coelho, the Canadian and the Mexican, trying to make a move here on the Team PR driver. This is just outside of the cash-paying positions, a little bit further back. I believe Christian Turner, the lime green suit, the purple helmet, trying to get into the mix. Nearly through wide on exit and around. Big moment there as Mitchell Christensen goes around. And the good thing with this being an E-Kart, don't have to worry about getting it refired, can simply go again. But unfortunately for him, it'll be essentially day done for the Puerto Rican.
I will say, looking at the lap times for the field, it looks like Garrett Maines might have gotten another gold one, an 18.4 to a 19.7, 19.0, and 19.5. Unfortunately for Liam Mahon, probably not going to be the day that he wanted or would have wanted to go back-to-back. I think for the two drivers behind of the Canadian and the Puerto Rican, as we get a shopkart.com replay, not going so well for some of these drivers.
Could be a penalty coming for Andrew Coelho there. As you can see, just into the bumper. A little bit of overlap from the driver behind. That's the 24, Rod Arellano, who definitely was a domino in that factor. How would you pin that up?
I would lean that more towards a racing incident. I don't believe that the 26 had any intent of trying to go up the inside there. I think he tried to back out, but unfortunately when there's a go-kart behind you, your brakes can only do so much.
How much do you want to do for a win? How much do you want to do for $25,000? You're already seeing the desperation very early on here. But as it stands, Garrett Maines, Liam Mahon, and Nathan Wilkie once again on the podium. In the battle further back for P2, we're seeing right now Maines fully clear. But look at this, maybe a hard charge from Wilkie. We'll take it to the outside. Mahon trying to squeeze him as wide as possible. No overlap from Wilkie. We talked about it earlier on, how much the draft dies. But look at this, Wilkie not giving up on the inside. They bang fenders, and now Wilkie finally backs out of it. But look at this, further back, Hector Navarez joining the scene, coming out of Rocky Moran.
That was a Code Brown butt clench moment. I didn't think either of them were going to back out. I mean, this is a 10-lap race, but you got to think there's got to be some give and take. Unfortunately, Garrett Maines is taking everything almost over a full second quicker than this battle for P2. Unfortunately, even if these guys have something in store in the later parts of this race, I think the damage is being done now.
And for the remainder of the field, maybe they know that their opportunity for P1 is out the window, and they're battling for the cash-paying scraps that are just behind P1. Good move for Navarez there, opened it up on exit. But right now it's continuing to be a study session for the Canadian.
I just don't
know. Nathan Wilkie trying to find a way through as we work our way into the triangle.
I don't know if Liam Mahon thinks that maybe he doesn't have the go-kart that he needs. He's going to open it up here on the inside. We'll see if he's going to elect to defend. Not quite going to be enough to get there. Oh, he's going to go for it, the over-under.
Not enough overlap, I don't think so. We'll tuck in, and that'll be Nathan Wilkie up into P2. But look at this, first time we've really seen a defensive line. A point to the middle from Wilkie, or excuse me, from Mahon saying, dude, you've got the position. I can shove you. Let's try and close this gap.
They're going to go defensive. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Unbelievable.
Oh, no. A technical problem seems to have befallen the 51 go-kart.
Trouble for Nathan Wilkie, and the Canadian looking to be the first international victor will not stand on the podium again. And it'll be issues for his go-kart and heartbreak for the Canadian.
That thing's not getting refired. Trying to put some throttle into it. It seems as though that go-kart has come to a stop. That is game over. Makes the fight for P2 a little bit simpler now. But I think Garrett Maines has already got halfway there to the trophy.
Out goes the Canadian. In comes Puerto Rico's own Hector Navarez, who again, we rewind the clock to a year ago in a storm-studded main event for the teens. A crash out from the lead in lap number 4. Handed it over to fellow countrymen. But on debut in the adults, he finds himself on the podium for the first time and could potentially be asking for more 7/10 between himself and P2.
And I will say we're seeing something that we haven't seen before all day. We have a straight-up tailwind down the back straightaway here, down what is colloquially known as catch-up straight. So a little bit of a different dynamic here for these drivers to have to deal with. However, I just do not see that gap between Maines and Mahone coming down anytime soon.
When you've got half of the field size, as we saw for the U.S. Finals, it's only fitting that in half the time we've truly spread out, and this field is diluted to some single-file racing, a handful of battle packs. But more or less, you've got your contenders now for the podium. Liam Mahone, Hector Navarez, and maybe Rodrigo Arellano. But it is going to take a lot of work right now for anyone to make any changes right now, especially to try and bring that fight to Garrett Maines.
And I also want to emphasize to those at home, even though Garrett Maines seems to be well on his way to the 25 grand trophy, we're still giving away 15 for P2. There is still a lot to fight for. And I will say, as we saw with Giovanni Perez earlier, maybe not, you don't always have the greatest starts, but you can make your way back into this race with some consistency and some management of the front tires. I would not say this race is over just yet.
Even then, you can see how hard he's trying to continue to build insurance, build that gap. Now it's Mahone and Navarez coming into view with Arellano and Turner giving chase. This field has really spread out. But even then, you still see Garrett Maines trying to drive the snot out of that number 1 kart and build as much of a gap as possible. 5.2 last time around has been purple lap after purple lap. What's it going to be this time around? Maines to the stripe, 118.608. In the remainder of this field, still can't even break into the high 18s, 119.304 for Liam Mahone. Almost identical for Hector Navarez as we check in a little bit further back. 24 of Arellano Rodriguez. And just behind him looks to be Christopher Turner, becoming the first driver from Ohio to stand on the podium. Looking to make it potentially a Team USA 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's very fitting that we've got, I feel very proud that the two Americans have been able to get away. Very nice. I'm surprised, though, with the Canadians. I mean, obviously, the problems with Nathan Wilkie, through no fault of his own, seemingly. But the likes of Tyler Duda Christian, as well as Andrew Coelho, I'm surprised that they're not as far up as I expected thus far.
Again, I think just so much of the battling earlier on has really kind of severed the head from the snake. And again, when we were going 2 by 2 there into the first hairpin at the top of the hill, that does a really good job of helping the guys out who are running single file, who have the single lap pace to get into the open air, dig, build a gap, and try and drive away.
Well, coming to the Ford Hill marker in this race, it seems like we could at any moment have a battle here for the second position. All these drivers very evenly spaced out behind Garrett Maines, who continues to put in laps almost a full second faster than those behind between the battle between 2nd and 7th. All it's going to take is one mistake before we get ourselves some on-track action. But for the moment, seems as though it's a bit of a choo-choo fest out here for the time being.
Let us remind you that Liam Mahone was not planning, not imagining himself to be on the podium here at the national level, regardless of the Worlds. But a phenomenal start for him. He's done exactly what his fellow countryman has done a little bit further ahead now and put a 2-second or so gap on Hector Navarez. If you look a little bit further back, it's still Turner. And now the top Canadian in the form of Andrew Coelho trying to close that gap. Here's Navarez in P3. And not too far back, it is indeed Arellano Rodrigo. This battle could still have something left in it. And again, we've seen how chaotic E-Worlds can be. You get this feeling that anything can happen at any moment here in the World Finals.
If it can happen to Nathan Wilkie, it can happen to anybody. It's never over until you see the checkered flag. But I will say, last year, Garrett Maines was 2nd in the U.S. Adults Final. Qualified 2nd for that. Ultimately went on to win. This year, 2nd in the men's final. Originally qualified 2nd, ultimately was able to get the pole in the 2nd qualifying session. And right now, he's got 8 seconds in his back pocket to his fellow American in P2. I hate when lightning strikes twice, but man, it's interesting when it does.
Look at this, Arellano Rodrigo has found something underneath the hood of that 24. He is all over the rear bumper now of Hector Navarez as we work down the hill into the S's. Navarez knows it, trying to keep it closed, white lining it on exit. That's killed all of his exit speed. He'll cover down low, force the long way around here for Arellano. Arellano trying to cross him up, gets the exit into Pocono. One done deal, and a new man at the bottom of the podium. Mexico's Rodrigo Arellano making that move on Navarez.
I don't know about that. That's going to have to go to race control to see if that was a bit of a push to pass, although I believe Navarez will have a chance to come back here. We'll see if he returns the favor. Not quite close enough just yet. Hard to say whether or not that's going to be a call. I believe Navarez might have overshot the corner a little bit and tried to slow down, but I guess
Look at this.
It's not going to matter.
Immediately swing back from Hector Navarez, has the run to the inside as we get ourselves onto the binders. This battle is not done yet. Navarez gets back to P3.
It is Puerto Rico versus Mexico here for the final spot on the podium, but out in front by 8.2 seconds. Garrett Mays, well, needless to say, has driven a phenomenal race thus far and is looking like he's going to be about a half away from becoming the first ever back-to-back champion. But this battle for P3 is not over just yet.
Big chuck to the inside. Arellano, no crossover. And that could be the Mexican back up into P3. We'll check in on that later on. But boy, what a handful of years it's been for Garrett Mains. Darn near anonymous in 2024 and 2025. Came out of nowhere, P2 at the national level, and became the third unique American champion, took home $25,000. He was in limbo with his future in sim racing. He was trying to qualify for iRacing's eNASCAR series. And you fast forward to exactly a year. He came into this weekend now with a handful of races in the real world under his belt, with a near locked-in future in sim racing. He will race for iRacing in the eNASCAR Coke Series. And now with this move, his career in the real world could be prolonged for seasons to come. Turn 12 for the final time. Garrett Mains, victorious in 25, will go back-to-back in 2026.
Lightning has struck twice, Jackson. It's going to be Liam Mohan, your U.S. champion, coming up just short. Still a very solid result and a nice payday for him. And ultimately, the battle between Mexico and Puerto Rico. Mexico wins out as Rodrigo Arellano comes home on the final step of the podium in P3. Congratulations to all of our drivers for showing up. But it's all Garrett Mains in the number one go-kart. It's funny how numbers work like that.
Time is a weird circle, and the fist bumps here and some wiggles of the steering wheel. It is halation from the front row here as it's a USA 1-2 and a new nation on the podium here in 2026.
Gotta feel for Nathan Wilkie as Jackson's going to go ahead and take off. Grab ourselves an interview from your new champion, or I should say your repeat champion. And Garrett Mains going to go ahead and give us some drifts. A lot has been made about Garrett Mains, a phenomenal driver in the sim, deserves all of his flowers, and a very worthy back-to-back champion. We'll join you in just 30 seconds. Be right back, y'all. Just checking in here with race control, just making sure that we got all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed.
Results are official, and it'll be a Mexican standing on the podium on the E-Worlds for the first time, but crucially, it is the second driver to go back-to-back in K1 E-Worlds history. Garrett Maines builds the gap and gets it done to be victorious in 2025 and 2026. $25,000 going his way. Where do you start to put this one into words?
Praise the Lord. I don't even know where to begin, honestly. Like, this is like surreal. I did not come into this weekend thinking that I would go back to back. Everybody's like, "Oh, we going back to back." I was like, just praying for a podium, and here we are. So I'm so thrilled to be able to come back to K1 Circuit and to get it done. Big thank you to K1 Speed and everything that they've done for me in my career over the last year. It's definitely helped propel it. And shoot, this is one step closer to racing Indy at the end of the year in GR Cup. So I'm so happy to be able to come out here and represent Wigan Water Technologies and MCU Body, Lennox, and just everybody that has supported me to this point. I'm just so excited. This is like so much more than I thought I'd get out of this weekend.
Second time you're going to do a victory lap, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep it going here. P2, once again, Liam Mahen. And maybe something we weren't necessarily expecting, my friend. Were we expecting to have this conversation again?
Yeah, that was the hope. I mean, the hope was where Garrett was. I was, if I lost anybody, I'm glad it was Garrett. I was really hoping to beat him to be in the first two-time. That would have been exciting. But second's great, man. $15,000. That's better. That's great, actually. It's going to help a lot. Try to move up in cards and stuff like that. I was trying to. He just took off on the straight, man, and struggled with a little vibration the entire time, inside the corner, out of the corner, under braking, and so I was just trying to really manage that the entire time. But yeah, I kept trying to look back, see they were close for a while, and I started to pull the gap. I was like, all right, we're good. Again, happy with second. Wish it was first, but good for Garrett, and I'm happy I wouldn't have wanted to lose anybody else.
Good way of putting it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, a new nation on the podium here as Rodrigo Arellano gets Mexico on the steps. It was a battle, my friend. You had to work for it. Talk to me about that duel for P3.
Whoa, it was last lap. I didn't know if I could do it, but I see the space and I said, well, there's any moment I can do this again, so this is the moment. I did it, and the last of the race, the last moves, it was defending. So I feel amazing race. To get here, top 3, just a dream.
Who do you want to thank for making this possible?
I want to thank all my family, all my friends, my aunt that is seeing me, all the ones that helped me to get here.
You're the first Mexican on the K1 E-Worlds podium. Congratulations, Rod.
Thanks.
There you go, guys. Your 2026 K1 E-Worlds podium. And, of course, it is party time. Your podium ceremonies and the final 3 heats of the day. Coming up.
Paulie Massimino wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix. James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars.
On track or off, Brandon Jarskrek Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarskrek, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarskrekRacing.com.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all of the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today. Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and 0 sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
Legacies aren't built overnight. They're built 1 second at a time. Never taking a lap off, and always pushing the limits. K1, helping you build your legacy from the beginning.
Kyle, what are you doing?
It's got my new Greyhound seat.
You don't even have a cart.
Doesn't matter. I have a Greyhound.
Who the f is Kyle Cuthbertson? Doesn't even have a go-kart.
Doesn't matter.
Cuthbertson through on Turney. Turney in the dirt.
Macron Motorsports builds champions every day. Drivers who won on the world stage. The Tillotson T4 Series is pure spec racing. Same engine, same chassis. When you win, it's because you were the best that day. Your edge is not the kart. It's the setup, the strategy, and the race team. With our Arrive and Drive program, you simply bring your gear, we provide the equipment and the championship-winning support to every event. Stop wrenching, start racing. Your path to the T4 Nations Cup in Spain starts with us. For more information, contact us at macronmotorsports.net.
The day is ours and we seize it. Haters, man, they got reasons. Grab the moment, we freeze it. Go to the touch, oh, what a rush. Follow your heart, homie, go where the love. Let it rain, let it flow, let it flood. Swimming in good vibrations, it's a celebration. It's the liberation of everything we are. Every time you
Stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspect with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kart Chasers' production of the K1 E-Karting World Championships. I'm Dean Helt, soon to be rejoined by the one, the only Jackson Lambros. We had a bit of a mix-up on the schedule. We've got it all cleared up now. We have the podiums following the adult final, B finals, I should say, and that'll be coming up here in just a second. Be back with you very shortly.
Time to go racing once again. Final Bravo. And it'll be Brian Davidson of Virginia on pole alongside the Texan Jesse Oben. Ben Yosef Amin on row 2 alongside William Broderick. Then it's Benjamin Huser and Jack Skelton out of PA. Maryland's Daniel Hale will be alongside Luke Paulin. Amar Patterson and Brian Foster make up row number 6. Jason Clark, Nathan Porcany, Eddie Rosario, Ethan Wells, Angelo Baccarini, Race Oliver, Jaden Lane, Trevor Anderson, Canyon Johnson, Aaron Puckett, Justice Matthews, Nick Granith, Neil Dennis, Tyler Spectra, and Dylan Joshua make up your field of 25 here. It is the rest of the best in indoor karting, set to duke it out for 10 more laps for K1 Glory.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So for the B main, obviously these drivers were unfortunately not quite quick enough in the qualifiers to make it to the A main with the big boys, but still some very talented drivers. Hopefully,
A couple hands up. I was going to say, hopefully we don't have the same level of dramatics here as we did yesterday as they continue to try and find their assigned rows. As it looks like we'll go around one more time here and take him to the tram lines. That was the confusion. They were checking them up a little bit early. It should be coming out of here. Turn number 11, where we should have them all checked up. And unfortunately, for Brian Davidson, Jesse Obi were not able to get into the A main, but still good enough lap to put them up front for the main event.
You know, like just because you make it, you wind up in the B main, it doesn't mean that you're slow. You know, sometimes you get lucky with the kart choice. Maybe you don't quite get that perfect lap in when the kart's at its best. Still, I'd imagine plenty of action for drivers now. Simply just going for bragging rights before they head back home this evening.
Again, would like to remind you that you can get in on the action and be part of the K1 World E-Karting Championship for 2027. Of course, all entries are submitted and are earned by indoor championships, Challenge GP victories, going on to win the state championship, stand on the podium in the state championship, and that is how you get your ticket punched out here for the 2027 edition out in Winchester, and an opportunity for you to win $25,000. K1speed.com to learn more. We'll also give a shout out for the opportunity for you guys to come out and drive these karts yourself, as there are active leagues here as well. Not Challenge GP, but a Friday night monthly series for some of the best in SoCal to go wheel to wheel. That's at k1circuit.com/race leagues.
I see Nathan up on the stands with the camera.
Give a shout out to our boy Nathan Avila, all of these hard-working camera operators who have, fortunately today, not had to battle that beaten sun until now. But we'll take this time after this long weekend to give a tip of the cap to Quentin Corbett, Gabe Romo, Isabella Morales, Ledra Sanchez, just to name a couple of the hard-working camera operators who have come out and given you guys this brilliant quality in our second edition of the K1 E-Worlds. We've got the clearance. We are ready to go racing for 10 laps here in final number B. The sun is finally coming out. That could potentially heat the track up. How is that going to potentially affect the racing product?
Already at 122 degrees Fahrenheit as of the main event. I can only imagine with Mr. Sun deciding to join us, it's going to be hot and sticky out here. Maybe hot and greasy by the time that we get to the midpoint of this race.
Let's find out. Brian Davidson on the inside. Jesse Obi on the outside. Virginia and Texas on the front row. We got the green flag. We're racing. That's an early move further back. Jack Skelton in the white suit trying to split the difference and go through the middle. What has happened further up there in the run to Rocky Moran corner? Looks like everyone seems to be pointing the right way. Some drivers with their hands up, but the fight is on. We've got an early move to the lead all the way to the inside. I think Jesse Obi. That's trouble further back for the 55-year pole sitter, Brian Davidson, on the inside, coming out of Rocky Moran corner with issues, and that'll hand the lead over to Jesse Obi through the S's.
Remember, folks, this is motorsports. These things happen. Unfortunately, the bad luck bug has bit the driver, the number 55, but seemingly, once again, everybody's been very respectful, and we have made it through the first half of the lap unscathed.
Jack Skelton up into P3. He's under fire from the number 60. That's Ben Huser from Iowa, who works it around the outside into hairpin 2 to get on the bottom step of the podium. The full-time dirt racer out of Horsham, Pennsylvania, got the call up with a world championship or a state championship, and now he's under fire some more. 43 of Foster Bryant up a handful of positions, puts away another, but look at this absolute furball coming out of turn number 11, nearly 3 wide. A couple just getting into the sand there, coming out of the corner. It is absolute bedlam further back.
I'm going to guess 3
as they try to lead the pack. Looks like one cart further back coming in.
4, 5, yeah, let's go 6, darn, 7, man. Not great with numbers, but looks like we've all made it through A-OK. More contact going into Rocky Moran. 3 wide very nearly.
Late lunge, a couple going off.
Ooh, through a yellow flag zone. Got to be careful here not to get in trouble with race control for overtaking under yellows.
I want to say that's Daniel Hale, who went for a little bit of an excursion on the outside, trying to slow down for that. But we continue to go 2 wide here through the mid-pack, and how about this? Your jet setter, William Broderick, in the lead. The Las Vegas native has won at nearly every single venue that K1 has to offer, from sea to shining sea. Has he won at K1 Circuit? I'm not sure, but how cool of an opportunity could this be? Good battle further back here. Looks to be the 16, or excuse me, the 18, Aaron Puckett, getting forced to the outside, jumping out the axle, trying to free it.
I believe that is the
trying
9
to get a better
of Clark
exit.
Jackson.
It is. Jason Clark there looking to the outside, but we continue to duke it out further back.
For those watching that may have been a little bored watching the F1 of the NASCAR race today, I don't think we'll have any shortage of action here in this B main. We got you covered today for sure.
Nathan Pokemy up a handful of positions as well. That lime green helmet nearly P12 to P6, 6 positions up. Jalen Dane up a handful. Oh my goodness, nearly contact further back. I think we got to realize as well, these karts are a little bit slower, crucially a little bit narrower than some of the karts we're used to here. Oh, late lunge further back, 37. Ethan Wells trying to make a move, and a major shunt there.
No.
From the top rope. Angela Baccarini trying to make that move stick, and that did not go the way she wanted it to.
Oops. Yeah, just unfortunately, you know, a lot of these drivers, once again, this is the fastest that they've ever gone at an open circuit, and an outdoor circuit like this. Maybe just a bit of a lapse of judgment first time with some four-wheel brakes as we get a replay here. Brought to you by Acceleration Kart Racing. Just, unfortunately, a meeting in the middle of a couple drivers, and then the 9 goes in, the 11 goes in. A
couple karts getting airtime. I think Jaden Lane maybe got a piece of it as well. But look at this. You look at some of the handful of drivers who just had nowhere to go there.
And unlucky for the 16, just nowhere to go. Thankfully was able to survive, but a lot of ground loss in the fight for the podium.
I think it was Aaron Puckett that got a little bit of hang time as well, making contact. But it seems like everyone crucially able to keep on going. Brian Foster, White Marsh, Maryland, trying to close that gap to William Broderick as it is getting feisty back here. And the crucial slap of the helmet right there from Ethan Wells telling everybody, hey, we've got a couple laps under our belts, so let's use our head. Let's try and not get anyone in the dirt here. Wow. Major send further back.
Of the dirt.
Minute I say that. Wells looking to the inside of Ben Huser into the hairpin. That'll be a done deal. Huser trying to cross him up, can't get there, and now Jack Skelton joins the scene in the battle for P4.
It's a cue ball versus a piece of charcoal here for the battles towards the backside of the podium. Looks like we've all kind of settled in as we got another 4-car train here going to the S's. Looking like it's going to be the battle for about P11 or P12. That is Rosario and Johnson in cart number 11 and number 6.
Starting to finally spread out a little bit in the mid-pack here. Ethan Wells up 10 positions. Jaden Lane 14 spots gained. You want to talk about your carnage. You want to talk about your wheel-to-wheel racing. You've got it right here, way further back right now in P16. Nathan Porkney, Aaron Puckett, Luke Paulin, Jason Clark, couple guys that got caught up in the chaos of the start, trying to move their way forward. And right now, I was going to say they're doing a good job of coexisting, and then just the minute I say it, Race Oliver wants to go to the inside here and try and make that move stick.
It is in his name, after all. It is race. You know, he's got to go racing.
That's the 42, Amar Patterson, the Atlanta driver, just in front. Just on the bubble of the top 10. It looks like we might have had a reshuffle out in front as Luke Paulin goes quickest with a 1:19.4. But we might have Jack Skelton to the lead here over William Broderick. This is the battle. A little bit further back, though.
Good thing these cars have wheel guards on them, or else we might have had some more interesting contact. They're still not willing to give it up as we're fighting the way through the S's, unfortunately. Good luck trying to go around the outside there, but hey, hell of an attempt.
Justice Matthews nearly trying to 50-50 grind on the inside. Oh my goodness, big drive to the middle of the track there as Luke Paulin tries to force the issue. A little bit of contact further back from the blue suit driver behind. 32, that might be Jack Skelton, who has actually dropped back a handful of positions, but man, what an onslaught from behind William Broderick. Another good run to the inside here as Nathan Pokorny, Amar Patterson to the inside. Skelton going to try and cross him up on exit. That is textbook stuff. If he can get the run, not enough in the clean air, has to tuck back in.
Do these drivers know they're not racing for $25,000?
They're having a good time.
They're racing awfully hard. I love to see the extra effort being given as one driver goes wide in the background. Not quite sure who that is. As Luke Pullen again goes purple, the driver from Memphis, Tennessee, sets a 19.4. Where is Mr. Pullen on the leaderboard?
Trying to find him right now, number 39. I think we have a couple transponders who don't want to play fair with us. But yeah, down in 17th.
One of the drivers that's going to be...
Oh, big moment.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if the 32 gets back to the 16, I'd like to see where this goes.
Jack Skelton getting a bumper full of it from Race Oliver there in the move for P7. And that'll certainly give him a head full of steam. Now you got Edgar Rosario just behind. And Amar Patterson once again trying to join the fray just behind, black and red suit in the 42. Keeps it tight on the exit. He has the momentum. Seems to be able to make this move work into Pocono too. Skelton doesn't fight him. That's another position there for Amar Patterson.
And for Skelton, you got to just take a breath here. It seems as though that 32 kart might be a little down on power, but you got to think, you got to make the most of it. No point in getting your head lost here. We're only halfway home already in this race. Got to make sure you stay in the game because there's a lot of hungry drivers right behind us. There's a Stormtrooper going up the inside of the 11 car.
So number 11, Edgar Rosario, and I want to say that's a Simpson helmet with that kind of iconic design to it. Looks like a little bit of a move further back. Dennis trying to make a move on Ben Huser.
Oh my goodness.
But no matter where you're looking, we have got a phenomenal battle. We keep looking over here to that final corner because there are people throwing haymakers. We are 3 wide on the entry. Jack Skelton wanted to make it 3 wide, backed out of it, goes to the inside, tries to make that move stick once again on Amar Patterson. Patterson backs out. This is phenomenal racing outside of the top 10.
Amazing fortune there for the 15. Horrible luck there for the 11 as Skelton continues to go backwards here. Unfortunately, seems to have gotten a little bit at the short hand of the stick on the go-kart lottery. But at the front, I believe the gap between our top 2 is coming down as a big move up the inside by the number 11.
Late move for Rosario there. And that'll get him in the S's. We look a little bit further ahead. These two were wheel to wheel earlier on. That looks to be Patterson, Race Oliver, and I want to say Ben Huizer. That's the 39 it would look like. Again, apologies here as we try and get the number plates because it is dang hard to read here compared to the high contrast we're so used to conventionally on Kart Chaser. As I believe that is indeed the 31, Dennis Neal giving chase. But what a phenomenal battle it has been here in the mid-pack as Ethan Wells tries to fend off from Ben Huizer. And a great run here from that lime green suit on the exit. Is he able to get it? Not quite. We work our way back up Rocky Moran corner. Not quite the level of sawing at the wheel to necessarily rotate the kart, as someone has finally been able to get a little bit of a breakaway here. Critically, William Bederick second and change up from Jaden Lane. 15 positions gained for him, 10 for Ethan Wells.
But enjoy
18
it now. Lane
for
is
Neil
coming.
Dennis.
Lane is closing that gap down.
Absolutely.
It was 2 seconds. Gap down to 1.2 already. We'll see if that consistency can stay with him. But the driver that is already up 15 spots, looking to grab one more to take home the B1 or the B win final for the adults.
Fastest man on track right now, blue visor, black helmet. That's Luke Paulin out of Memphis, Tennessee. That's actually maybe giving you guys an idea of just how big that gap is from him to the remainder of the field, as he has now been put nearly a lap down. That is your race leader coming into view now, William Berderick. But man, Dino gave you a great job of telling you. Jaden Lane doing a great job of closing that gap. And that cue ball helmet further back in the 12 certainly is closing that gap. It was 1.3 seconds a lap or so ago. What's it going to look like here as we cross the stripe with the twin sticks coming out? 0.8. This battle is not over for the lead.
Broderick was nearly out of the seat looking back to see back where Lane was as that gap continues to fall. It was 1.2, currently sitting at just a hair under 0.8. He's going to get there before the end of this race, and we're going to have a battle for the win here, ladies and gentlemen.
Jaden Lane, let's not forget, Thousand Oaks native, up 15 positions to get in this conversation for the race lead. Ethan Wells up 11 to get here as well. But William Broderick, what an accolade this would be on top of what has been a very decorated K1 career for a man who has visited nearly every indoor facility.
Oh, but he's going to have to fight for this one. It's going to be mighty, mighty close here between the 12 and the 35. I think with a good Pocono, which I believe he's just had, Jaden Lane is going to have an opportunity to overtake here before we even get to the final corner. He's saying, push me. I don't think Mr. Lane's going to have any second thoughts. We'll see if he goes for it here. Not quite going to get there, but we'll see what happens at Popeye.
3 seconds. These two are clear of Wells, who just comes into view. This is not going to be a three-way battle. Here's the move for the lead. Jaden Lane with a look to the inside in turn number 12. Has the full overlap. Broderick not going to fight it. Jaden Lane up into the lead.
I think we saw a little bit of a head nod there from Mr. Broderick. I think I can imagine what was coming out of the helmet. White flag here for your two race leaders. This race is not over.
Las Vegas versus Thousand Oaks, California versus Nevada. A phenomenal battle and a phenomenal comeback drive from Jaden Lane has gotten him to the point, but he is not out of the woods yet. As the king of indoor karting, William Broderick, going to try and find a way to swing back down the hill into the S's.
It's just not going to be enough. That 35 kart looks really, really understeery, and Lane has done a phenomenal job of initiating the oversteer and then controlling it on the exits. I'm just not quite sure that Mr. K1 can find his way back into the fight before this lap comes to a close.
Would have been a big overtaking opportunity right here into the hairpin. But as we head into the Poconos, Jaden Lane has gotten into the clean air and has taken off. You see it on the left-hand side of your screen. Already half a second, 6/10 the gap between himself and William Broderick. A podium will certainly be more than enough, though, for the man who is just thrilled for an opportunity to be here. But for Jaden Lane, who started as a near incognito driver in this field, goes middle to try and break the draft. Now brings it wide one more time, but up 16 positions. He gets himself into the one that matters. Turn 12 for the final time in the run to the checkered flag. Jaden Lane puts California back in the win column in Group B.
The Thousand Oaks native winning on home soil, not too far away from his home. And as a memento, I believe went fastest on that final lap. Just a little bit of icing on the cake as we have the drivers further back. What a race. That was good. It was good fun.
A lot of comeback drives from the middle of the field. Some names we weren't really expecting, and a duel to the white flag and the checkered flag. What more could you want? Your results here after 10 laps. Jaden Lane, your winner. Will Broderick, Ethan Welsh joining him on the podium. And you give a tip of the hat as well. Neil Dennis, Buffalo Grove, Illinois driver, up 18 spots. Oliver Race up 9. Trevor Anderson up 9. Josh Dillon up 11. A lot of big movers here. We'll step aside for just a moment. When we return, it's your podiums from your World Championship and one more race before we sign off from Winchester.
Empire Karts, your trusted trackside parts specialist. Proudly supporting champions of the Future America Series, West Coast karting teams, and racers. Empire Karts, your trackside solution.
Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
K1 Circuit, the world's greatest outdoor karting facility, is now open. Open karting and rental session schedules are available online. Rentals will resume today after the race event at 5 p.m. Thanks to Kart Chaser for live streaming the event at K1 Circuit. Your coverage will resume shortly.
Thanks for sticking with us, folks, whether you're joining us trackside or, of course, live around the world on Kart Chaser. But we are ready for your World Finals podium for the 2026 edition of the K1 World E-Karting Championship. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's get right into it. In third place, putting Mexico on the world podium for the first time, Rodrigo Arellano. Joining us on the podium once again, coming out from Daytona, Florida, Liam Mahone. And your winner for the 2026 E-World Finals for Adult, going back-to-back from 2025, Garrett Maines. At this time, we will honor America winning the 2026 championship with the playing of our nation's anthem. Thanks, everybody. And, of course, it is time to bring out the hardware. Rodrigo battling it out with PR's Hector Navarro as he gets himself on the podium. Liam able to break away from that battle, but no one able to catch Garrett Maines, becoming the second back-to-back driver to win the E-Karting Championship. All right, gentlemen, big smiles for me. Lift those trophies nice and high. Big smiles for the cameras. Thank you, guys. And, of course, now it's time for what you really came for. For Rodrigo Arellano, $7,500. For second place, Liam, $15,000. And, of course, for Garrett Maines, $25,000 US. Thank you, guys. You got the paychecks, which means you know what time it is. We'll help you with the hardware here and clearing it out. Helmet's clear. Liam's trying to get the gold stuff off the sides. We'll shake them up, and on the count of three, we're going to make it rain. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's party! Liam got me in the splash zone. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 World E-Karting Championship podium. We'll step aside from K1 circuit. When we come back, we go green one more time. Group C coming up.
Another Kart Chaser driver fitness episode with me, Chris G. Today, I'm going to show you how to protect those ribs in the seat. We're doing core. Exercise number 1 is the bench leg raise. Controlled all the way down, full range of motion. Make sure you pick up that tailbone off the pad, coming down, controlling. Great for the lower abdomen area and obliques. Floor slider mountain climbers, exercise number 2. Exercise number 3, the plate-loaded incline bench sit-up. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Chris G Coaching, race-ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with 2 classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
Karting isn't just speed. It's control, precision, freedom. At Atlanta Motorsport Park, Kart Freedom isn't just a team. It's where drivers are made.
Let's go race.
Come on, man.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tap?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make way. Okay, you're good. Sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle.
Hey guys, I'm Chris G. I'm Kart Chaser's driver fitness coach, and today I'm gonna give you 3 tips on how to strengthen your shoulders for more endurance and better stability in the kart. Here we go. Okay, so exercise number 1 is the front rope pull-through cable raises. Okay, now, this is the upright cable row. What you are doing here is you're picking a straight bar, as you see, and we're working the side areas of our shoulders, the medial. Exercise number 3 the dumbbell shrugs. As you guys can tell, I like to pause at the top before releasing. It's great for your strength, for that wheel stability. It's great for those shoulders and that upper back area. Chris G coaching, race-ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do here. See you on the next one.
Welcome to the future of kart race preparation. Kart Sim Pro North America. Featuring laser-scanned North American kart circuits and precision-tuned kart physics developed using real telemetry, dyno and tyre data, Kart Sim Pro North America delivers the most advanced and realistic kart simulation experience available today. Whether you're training for race day, refining your lines, or shaving tenths off your personal best, Kart Sim Pro gives you pro-level insight without leaving your home. Trusted by world champions, coaches, and karting enthusiasts alike, this is where virtual practice translates into real-world performance. Experience the thrill, the challenge, and the edge. Kart Sim Pro North America. Use code CHASER20 to get 20% off today.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with two classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix. James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars.
On track or off, Brandon Jarskrek Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarskrek, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarskrekRacing.com.
Ready to go racing one more time in the 2026 K1 Speed E-World Karting Championship. Ben Bricker on pole, the Arkansas man, alongside Virginia's Anthony Azayas. Dusty White, Jeremy Briones in row number 2. Row 3, Manny De La Cruz and Aaron Almond. Joshua Hernandez and Jotham Atunzi makes it row number 5. Michael McMahon, William Squires, Eric Tekin, Alex Hughes, Cade Tomlinson, Jonathan Kirsch, James Herbert, John Seib, David Kamishin, Brendan Boyd, and Emil Antavici makes it our 19 kart final heats. It has finally been a sunny afternoon here. Dino, what do we think that's going to do to the racing?
Not much. I think it's going to be balls to the walls, flat out, entirely for these drivers. You've been sitting around all day. You've been watching everybody else race going, when is it my turn? Let's get out here, blah, blah. Now it's time to actually go do it. Looks like we have a decent enough grid, and I'd imagine these drivers are going to have a little bit of road rage and a little bit of antsiness. Should make for a very fun racing product.
Would like to remind you guys that we are well on our way now in the month of May, but the action going to continue here as this circus and all of its monkeys continue to move on. Round number 4, the MCC Pro-Am, a couple weeks away, as well as Champions of the Future round number 5. We head out to Nevada for the first time as the championship heads to Spring Mountain Karting Complex. But next weekend, we go international as well for the first time in 2026. Round number 1 of Coupe de Montreal. Justin Prince, Bradley Dalton on the call for that. Should be a good show. And as well, the Canadian CKNA Grand Nationals coming your way later this month as well. But here we go, ready to go one more time from K1 Circuit here in Winchester, California. Ben Bricker on the inside and Azayas on the outside. Are we going to be able to stay green, or is the chaos gonna unfold?
Oh, contact already in the back.
Let's find out. We've got the green flag. It is a quick start. We're nearly 4 wide heading up the hill, but Ben Bricker immediately covers down low, now leaves it open. Dusty White going to try and chuck it into Rocky Moran. But crucially, Ben Bricker with a good getaway here into the hairpin.
I want Dusty White to win just because his name sounds cool. Oh my goodness, big moves up the inside into I was going to say orange chicken, but I guess we're going to call it 4 and 5 into D2. Seemingly very clean, very respectful driving. I know a little bit of a checkup in the back, but it looks like all of our drivers have been able to make it down into the S's for the first time.
Ben Bricker, then it's Brendan Boyd, Anthony Azayas, Dusty White, Jeremy Briones as we work our way down the hill for the final time. We're 3 wide, we're sideways. We've got one major off on the outside, and a raising of the hand to say, hey, I'm coming back, please don't hit me. First major overtaking opportunity here into hairpin 2. As we go up the hill into the Poconos, another major off further back. I think David Kamishin going wide there in Pocono 1. Another one nearly into the wall. Jonathan Kirsch trying to save it. John Seib nearly going off as well. What in the wide world of sports is going on? Jeremy Briones now for P2. All of them getting stacked up here behind who I want to say is Ben Bricker. But we go single file as we get to the stripe for the first time into turn number 12.
That 360 cam on top of that number 7 car is going to have quite the footage to review once we get done. He's going to try to go around the outside going into Rocky Moran.
Jeremy Briones has one of the best moves we've seen this weekend as Dusty White. Anthony Azayas watches on in what's become a 4-kart breakaway. But what a phenomenal move. Around the outside into Rocky Moran. And what a start it has been. Jeremy Briones up a handful of spots now to get to the lead.
Yeah, I was going to say, these, once again, these drivers have been waiting around all day, ready to get in these go-karts, and I definitely saw that angst, that anger in those first 2 laps. A lot of fighting towards the duller end of the field, towards the back half of the mid-pack, but out in front, it looks like it's going to be the 36 v the 53, v the 24 v the 66, as we're going to have a fight here for P3.
Azayas on the inside of Bricker. Bricker with the exit. The outside will become the inside here if they're able to hold it too wide. Azayas not with a great exit either. Now tries the cross-up. Constant wheel-to-wheel. Azayas going to try and get it done for P3. That's a done deal. Now it'll be Ben Bricker's turn to try and swing back. Josh Thamathangley, William Squires, David Kamishin continuing through the top 10. Here's Kamishin looking to the inside, and will be able to get that move on Aaron Amaron.
I feel like that 24 car has been in every single race today. It feels like no matter where we look, that 24 car finds its way out on track. Great battling here towards the backside of the track, as some very interesting interpretations of track limits taking place there at the final corner. Are we about to go 4 wide?
Oh my goodness. Still trying to hang it on. We are dang near ecstatic here. Some of the scenes we are just so not used to here. 4 or 5 wide in some parts of the racetrack. Just absolutely sending it into the hairpin like you're seeing right here. The 59 with a major send. Manny De La Cruz trying to get up into P13, manages to get it done. But when you sit a bunch of indoor karters around for a couple hours, get them the opportunity to finally come out and stun on them. Cade Tomlinson showing us how to get it done. Michael McMahon making that move on Josh Thamasangli for P6.
I was not prepared for that hit of dopamine, seeing 4 wide as one driver going way wide. Unfortunately, not going to be a career highlight for that driver, but still should be able to continue on, make it to the end of this race. And at the front, Dusty White continues to pull away as the battle for 14th continues to rage on.
Here's Michael McMahon on the inside of Camishin. Still an opportunity for a crossover. Nobody going in the dirt on exit that time by. Now a swing back for the 22.
Off.
One nearly off.
Oh,
nearly a collection further back. Oh, there is contact. Shaking the hand
way.
there. Both of them are okay.
Oh my gosh.
Steve Johnson and I think Jeremy Briones getting into it. As here comes Camishin to the inside of Bricker. Gets on the anchors there and lets him get away with it. He did not want to go too wide there into Moran.
Oh, this is what you wait. This is what you wait for. This is why you stick around to see the C finals. As Jeremy Briones sets the fastest lap of this race at a 20.567. Sorry, kiddos, and your parents respectively. If you are watching, it looks like we've kind of settled down a little bit. Everyone's kind of gotten strung out, single file, but I'm sure it won't be long before we see some more side-by-side action here.
Through the S's. Gap first to second, 1.6 seconds. And Ben Bricker leading the rest of them out of the S's into the Poconos. Big overdrive further back there from Bricker. Trying to close that gap. I think a little bit of a lockup. That resulted in a 4-wheel slide. Again, trying to build that gap on Hughes, Tomlinson, Teakin. And this major freight train starting to form behind him.
This is what, a 7-kart battle? 8-kart if they get a little aggressive. This is for, I believe, about P6. Big move up the inside. Not quite going to get there. A little bit of a hip check there from the 66. Unfortunately, it will cost him a spot down catch-up straightaway as the Stormtrooper, the cue ball inside on the 27 kart, moves himself up a spot. Another position lost there going into Popeye, I believe.
Alex Hughes getting a handful. Who's not making moves further up at the front? They tried making that move, but backed out of it. The 22 of David Camishin.
Oh no.
And another big setback from Michael McMahon. 22 versus the 33. McMahon has the inside. Camishin going to try and cross him up on the exit. That's actually William Squires, who was leading this pack in the 26, trying to fend him off. Has the outside, but look at this. Dusty White, already at the bottom of the hill at the S's, has built a phenomenal gap to the remainder, or it's actually, excuse me, that was Jeremy Briones back with the action. This is Dusty White, and that is Anthony Azayas, and what we could nearly see as a carbon copy of the Group B final.
Very much so, as we've got the runaway, but still a fight to the death. No money on the line, no prizes, just pride and ego going back to your home states. This is a Manassas, Virginia driver versus a Tukwila, Washington driver. Some very interesting names. I love the city names that we have. And really showing that there are drivers from all over the United States competing here. And SoCal, we got a driver running wide in P4. Not really sure who that is at the moment. I believe it is the 22 of Camishin, I think, as we've got a battle for P5 behind in the 22.
Camishin looking to the inside of, I believe, Azarius there. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there as he just nipped the curb. And some very aggressive nonverbals a little bit further back. Kate Tomlinson.
Some of these drivers are going to have some great onboard footage to go, as we have a mistake from our P4 runner that's going to cost him a spot there, and maybe 2 as the 22 goes up the inside into turns 4 and 5. Nice clean move there.
Tomlinson to move it inside of William Squires, who again was the leader of this freight train and has just began to get walloped, frankly. Anthony Azayas busting that position open. Michael McMahon trying to get through, and now Camishin has dropped Squires back a handful of spots. These guys continue to run essentially bumper to bumper, as it looks like it is indeed. I'm not sure if it is Jeremy Briones, your leader. He might have got involved in that accident earlier on and got caught for being a lap down. Alexander Hughes trying to make a move on Squires there, backs out of it into the first of the triangles. Through Pocono 2, will try and get it set up. Nobody touching the curb here on the exit. A little bit of an aero duck, trying to make any move possible. A little bit further back, Eric Tyken trying to make a move on Josh Thamalenxi. Just coming into view further back there, still barely too wide. I think Josh was able to make that move stick.
And the battle for P2 is on, going into Rocky Moran between
Dusty White, Jeremy Briones.
Anthony Azias as well, and I think Azias has made the move up into P2.
He has Dusty White down a position.
I love how you can see, they've got clear visors and you can see the glasses. It's just so cool looking.
I wonder if they've got the metas so they can get the onboard footage.
That'd be very cool.
I've seen a handful of guys try and do that for Grid Life. 4 laps to go in our Group C final. For the adults, we appreciate it if you've stuck around with us here at K1 Circuit Winchester, whether you're joining us trackside, whether you're tuning in either from K1 Circuit around the world or at any K1 indoor center around the world. Over 250 drivers coming out representing nearly 100 locations around K1 America and internationally. It has been a phenomenal event. We have had wheel-to-wheel racing. We've had battles for the podium. We've had the biggest single cash prize in karting. We had a Porsche GT3 Cup car being ripped around by one of the biggest legends in endurance racing yesterday. What more could you want in a weekend? And the best part is, this is coming down into an absolute battle to the very end to end us off here on Sunday. Dusty White trying to pedal to keep within contention of Ant Azias.
I mean, this all just for bragging rights here, folks. And remember, this could be you next year. Definitely show up to your local K1 if anything you've seen today has sparked your interest in rental kart racing. You could be here next year for the 2027 iteration of the K1 Speed World E-Karting Championships. But still not done here yet. About 3 laps to go, and the battle for P5 is getting mighty, mighty close.
Want to take this time to, as always, give a huge thank you to everybody who makes this possible. GoPro, Perico Energy, and all of our sponsors that help keep our bills paid, that make this phenomenal project of ours in our now 6th full year of kart coverage possible. And of course for K1 Circuit, for the entire K1 Speed organization for bringing us out in the year number 2 of what is hopefully a long run of covering one of the biggest karting events in the nation. Really good exit here from the 26. William Squires trying to swing back on Alex Hughes, maybe across up here in the Poconos, has the run. What are you going to do here, William?
Got to be careful. Making the move into 12 means that you're going to be set up and you're the sit and duck down catch up straightaway into Popeye. Not quite going to get there for the 27.
Hughes,
but still hanging on just for the moment. There's a head tap. We'll see how long that's going to last.
Hughes, granted, did give him the space to potentially make that move. I think that was more out of fear than necessity. He knew he was tardy on the anchors. But here we go. Should be the white flag out this time by. Beg your pardon, we got the twin sticks out, and the battle for P5 continuing here in P6 as Squires tries to pedal just a little bit further back. Tomlinson in the 14 trying to make that move on Ben Bricker through the double apex hairpin of 5 and 6 through D2. These guys are just trying to open it up as much as on exit as possible, carry as much speed. And for William Squires, who was leading this pack, just trying to claw back and salvage a solid finish.
Yeah, just kind of, I mean, this is for the P5. This is one of those things, go, hey, you know, we went all the way down to Los Angeles, or I should say Winchester more specifically. Brought home a top 5 for ourselves. This is definitely something worth fighting for, as I believe this is the battle for P7 between the 53 and the 14.
Kate Tomlinson on the right, Ben Bricker on the left. Bricker backing out now, trying the crossover.
Very nice.
Through Pocono 2, has the inside monster trucks over the curb, but is able to get there a little bit of a hand up saying apologies. Here we go, white flag out. And Jeremy Briones able to take off in that Stilo helmet. Into the 360 cam. Going to give him a phenomenal view of this now 6-second gap between himself and Anthony Azias.
It's a pretty competitive lap time, not all that far off of what we saw in the world final for our adults. Talent top to bottom in this category. Maybe some of the qualifying allotments didn't go quite well, but still able to show the talent when it really mattered.
Been a very solid weekend here for Las Vegas, and that center specifically in the Silver State of Nevada, as they've had a handful of podiums both on the junior and junior and teen stage, both national and the worlds. And they're about to get a little bit more hardware here, as Jeremy Briones in the number 7, just a handful of spots away from sealing the deal. Should be on target to have Isaias and Dusty White join him. 3 positions gained for Briones at the start, made the moves early, and just like every other heat we've seen seemingly this weekend, just able to make the most of the carnage behind, build a gap, and run away with it. Out of this long, near kilometer-long straightaway for the final time, out of turn 12 into the checkered flag. Jeremy Briones gets another one in the win column for Las Vegas and Nevada and wins in Group C.
Very, very happy about that. Manassas will bring home P2, as well as Denver getting themselves on the podium with Dusty White. I love that, absolutely love that name. With the Queen's wave to the fans. And that will wrap it up for us for the on-track action. It's still a battle for P7. Got to go right down to the line. We'll see who's going to get it.
Whoa.
I'll give it to the cue ball.
I think it was just barely teeking over Bricker. It was. And he came out of nowhere, was running P10 mid-race and found a late surge there to get himself up in to P7. That's all she wrote, folks. Another phenomenal K1 Speed World E-Karting Championship is in the books. Dean Helt, your first weekend on the mic for Kart Chaser. What are we thinking?
This is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. Even top to bottom, the early mornings, the late days, I'm pretty well beat. I've never been more tired sitting in a chair, but it was so much fun along the way. Thank you to everybody at Kart Chaser, all the staff behind the desk as well. I'm sure this will be the hopefully the first of many.
Been proud to call K1 Winchester home here myself for a handful of months now, whether it's been for Champions of the Future or, of course, now for K1 and the E-Worlds. This place is special. These people are very, very special. And it has genuinely felt like family for this hardworking Kart Chaser crew, which has come out from across the nation to bring you this coverage every single week. It nearly seems we're out here. But that's it. Time for us to pack up and move on. But we thank you so much for watching, whether you've joined us again trackside here from K1 in Winchester, around the world at any K1 speed, or of course from your homes, from your living rooms around the world. For this hardworking K1 track staff and Kart Chaser production crew, for my partner in the booth here, Dean Helt, my name is Jackson Lambros, thanking you so much for staying with us all weekend long and reminding you to join us next weekend when we head north of the border for round 1 of Coupe de Montreal, live flag to flag right here on Kart Chaser.
This broadcast is the sole property of Kart Chaser Group, LLC. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the images, audio, or accounts of this event, in whole or in part, without the express written consent of Kart Chaser Group, LLC is strictly prohibited. Thanks for watching.